Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fair Weather Podcast, boy 2K Suave. I am joined with the happiest man. First of all, I just wanted y'all to know, like, A-Rod's been annoying me the last week because everything is going his way. Everything is
Never.
like, I feel like that happened to me, like with the Phillies, the Eagles. You saw me go in Michigan, remember? And you was like, I'm being whatever you said, annoying or braggadocious, whatever it is. Now my dog A-Rod got Aaron Rodgers, is about to probably win this series against Donovan Mitchell and them when everybody was saying it was going to go 7. Aaron Judge and the Yankees looking pretty decent. If he was you're not like a Rangers fan, are you? Islanders fan, anything like that?
Go Lightning. Go Bolts.
Nah, listen. Y'all pissed me off, Tampa Bay Lightning. Two games in a row. We're up in the third inning. And third period, my bad. Up in the third period. And y'all blow it at home. Y'all blow it at home. You know how embarrassing that is? Like, we're up 4-1 in the last one. 4-1. I let that shit slip away. So I'm very disappointed in the Tampa Bay Lightning right now.
KK, I'm on cloud 9 right now. I now I know how you felt. I've never felt this good as a sports fan of any of my teams, man.
Everything going right.
I've never felt this good. Like the Yankees, they keep me right every year. But
you can't even won.
I said Knicks in 6, man. I said Knicks in 6. And it's looking like it might be 5. But Julius Randle just went out, which is unfortunate. Don't know if he's coming back. It's the half. No, he has that ankle injury. I'm gonna need Obi Toppin and the rest of the gang to step it up.
If Cleveland has any heart, they're not gonna lose the series in 5. Donovan Mitchell cannot allow that to happen, or this experiment probably will never work.
Okay, I don't care. Fuck them. Fuck them all, man. Fuck them all. You think Cleveland's cool?
Josh Hart.
You think Cleveland's cool? Fuck that.
I joke him.
Fuck them, man. This is the test of time, bro. This is what we had to beat because it could have been Donovan Mitchell on this team, and we're showing we don't need him.
We need him. Hey, Jalen Brunson. According to A-Rod, he was robbed of most improved player from Lauri Markkanen. According to A-Rod, I gave you a full breakdown of statistics. Okay,
he did. Maybe I'm just a homer, but I think contribution to the team and turning it around and everyone being like, oh my God, this guy is actually really good.
Meanwhile, Utah was in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. They were supposed to be the last seed, and they got them within like a game of the play-in, which is obviously not the playoffs, but they were right there.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's all I can say. If you're in the sweepstakes, continue to freaking put in those ballots to get it. But they chose to win games. That's on them.
Yeah, but like nobody wants to lose on purpose. Don't say it's on them.
It's hot. The jacket's coming off, man. We in Florida, but hey, let's go Knicks.
Yeah, he couldn't hold it down.
I couldn't do it, man. It's freaking hot. It's a nice jacket too, and we're rocking the Starch jersey, baby. So I want that energy.
That's my favorite Knick, y'all.
But the Jets finally did it. What did I tell you? All I need to see is the ramifications. I need to see.
Well, no, hold up. A couple weeks ago, you were like on your suicide watch and crying. We're not going to get the deal done. I told trust us.
I was, but I told you ultimately, like, I need to see what is being given up. I need to see that. Once I see that, I'll feel comfortable with everything.
Yeah,
because originally I originally said I wanted Lamar Jackson. That's what I wanted. And then second was Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Second was Aaron Rodgers all along. And I'm happy with the second option because short window, guy who's proven to win. He came out, did a great interview with the press. I loved it, man. He said he's knows we're hungry. He's hungry to get us a dub. I've never felt like a Super Bowl contender, but the big thing still is getting Quinnen Williams signed. That's still the big thing for me. And then the Yankees, bro, the Yankees are balling. The Yankees they're doing their thing. I know they're third in the division or fourth in the division, but that division right now is easy to get up there. And the Rays, they got a good lead in the beginning playing those high school teams, but we're coming for you. Don't worry,
bro. Let that hate out of your heart. I know you're hype right now. But simmer down, Pippen.
The hate is out of my heart. I call it the way I call it, man. That's what I do. But
Simmer down, simmer down. Listen,
I'm simmered, baby.
back
I'm
back
ready
to
for
you.
the show.
I'm gonna let you go, bro. But back to this Aaron Rodgers situation. Um, and before y'all know, we diving right into the draft. But I want to get some football shit out the way first. Um, what makes us different from Brett Favre?
What makes it different? Brett Favre throws a lot of picks. Okay, Brett Favre threw a lot of picks. Yes, I know when you look at everything, it's the same Super Bowls won there, same amount of MVPs. Um, Rodgers is more accurate than Brett Favre.
Can
Okay,
I can I
and don't do this to me.
no no no
Don't
I'm
shoot
allowed
me.
to ask you, right?
You can't.
I gotta make sure that you're comfortable, okay? Now, Brett Favre threw a lot of picks because he took a lot of chances. What I've learned with Aaron Rodgers is that if he's not in love with you as a receiver, he ain't gonna throw it to the other receiver. He's gonna throw it to the ground. That's why he don't throw that many picks. Now, remember that championship game against NFC Championship game against San Francisco? He force fed Devontae Adams, and Alan Lazard was in the middle of the field, wide open. So, if he falls in love with Garrett Wilson, that's his name, right?
Garrett Wilson.
And I haven't heard from your offense in a while. It's been Tom Brady and casual your bust, your draft bust. But anyway, if he falls in love with Garrett Wilson and the other guys are not getting the ball, if he doesn't trust the other receivers, you know how he gets. We watch it. So is there any of that concern for you? Or you just think this is gonna be like Tampa Bay, what they did with Tom Brady?
I think it's like a Tampa Bay, Los Angeles Rams experiment. You bring in a seasoned veteran quarterback to get you there, and two times it worked. That's all I can say. And we're a pretty complete team. We're a pretty complete team. I'll give the Jets that. I never say that about them.
Look at you. Hey, shout out to who?
Joe Douglas.
Shout out to Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas,
he was riding him all last couple of years, and I was like, bro, just give him some time. Now look at him. Him.
I'm pretty sure his ass was about to get toasted. That's why, and he knew he had to make some big moves.
No, he had to get the last regime out of his locker room. That's all it was.
You
know how that works. You got to get the bad apples out.
Yeah, no, I mean
that's how it works.
I guess, but I just think that this is a good team. We're set for success. We're very young. We got a lot of young talent on the team. The quarterback is the only question mark after the Rodgers tenure. What happens there? Do we keep running with Zach Wilson, which I hope we don't?
I think y'all will.
Oh no, we are. We definitely
because his confidence. Nobody's getting you a 7th round pick for him. The only way you can get rid of him is to cut.
Yeah, I know that, but I think at the end of the day, they think like me. Yeah. They're thinking like me. Like, you took him 2 overall, and you don't want to waste it. So let's bring in a competent quarterback that will definitely teach him and show him some things out here.
Will he listen though? Does he strike you as somebody who's going to actually like be in a classroom and paying attention?
I really don't know, and
that's what I don't know about him. Like, we never heard of this guy in college. No one cared about him in college, so we don't know him like that.
KK, I don't know. I don't care. I told you I want him out the locker room. I think he's a bad apple that has to go. I think it was a foolish pick at number 2 to draft him. Justin Fields was sitting there, and I told you that's who I wanted. I see talent. I can see talent. I'm not saying I should be a scout or whatever, but like, I can see talent. And when you're playing at Ohio State at the highest level, and you take a guy out of BYU who hasn't done anything except beat USF, like, what are we really doing here? So
it feels like a Mitchell Trubisky situation. You know how the Bears got him for what, right? With all the other, Patrick Mahomes was on the board still, Deshaun Watson was on the board still, and they went with Mitchell Trubisky. I feel like you guys just did the same. Y'all fell in love with somebody and locked in on that. Because everyone knows that Trevor Lawrence was going number 1. Like, that was a given. So y'all had any option to fall in love with whoever you wanted. and you fell in love with him and locked it in there. Same thing with Daniel Jones for the Giants. Same thing with Mitchell Trubisky with the Bears. So it's good that you guys are finally out of this. But now the pressure's on now. So
I know.
You know how the media is with Aaron Rodgers. They're gonna be crazy in New York.
I know.
Do you know what you've seen the opponents that you guys play next year? Like, what does the schedule look like? Is it?
I haven't paid attention because
Okay.
I've just been waiting to see what happens here.
Yeah.
This is all I needed. I needed these chips to fall just so I can rest easy at night, because this is all like going up. You haven't seen something like this take this long. Nothing has taken this long in the NFL for a trade to happen.
Well, dealing with Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre was the same way. That's the thing. Brett Favre was the same exact way. It would be like August, and he'd be like, "All right, I'll come back."
Yeah, but shit like this, it doesn't happen in my team. It happens to other teams, and then like when we are finally on the cusp of being good, there's a clown show that's following it right now, and the clown show isn't Aaron Rodgers. He's not a clown show.
You
It's
sure?
just no, I don't think so. It's the media swirl that happens with it.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers,
bad man.
Aaron Rodgers, we got the
bad man.
I'm happy with it. Aaron Rodgers, I kind of understand his archaic personality. Here's your word of the day, archaic. If you want,
you can come up with better.
Okay.
Better. Keep it going though.
But I get it, and I think it's more of like the trust that the Green Bay Packers were losing in him, and all of the stuff he was doing for them. And I get that. Like, draft me receivers, draft me offensive stuff for the draft, and you get a new head coach and he takes a quarterback in the first round. That automatically is going to put a slap to your face right away. So I get the push and pull there. We don't know all that. We probably won't know all of that information until Aaron Rodgers is out the league and retired, and maybe he'll spill his guts on what really happened in Green Bay.
When he's on peyote doing his podcast.
Yeah, but
trying to host Jeopardy.
but all in all, like, I'm happy he's here. This is the guy that we need, and let's dive into this draft, man, because I could talk about this the whole podcast.
Real quick, just so you know, we play y'all next year. Oh, it's gonna be at MetLife though, so y'all got a home game against us next year.
I might go to that game. I'm definitely going to some Dolphin games this year.
I might slide. I might actually slide because I've been meaning to go to New York, so that would be a good time. That'd be a good time. All right, everybody, we finally made it. I feel like after the Super Bowl, obviously my team was unsuccessful. I've been waiting for the draft since 1201. So I've been waiting like, all right, what's next? What's next? So we finally made it. As you guys are listening to this, it should be draft day. Hopefully you didn't wait till Friday because you'll miss the first round of how we see fit. But we both made our mock draft 3.0s. If you haven't checked it out yet, check the IG page at the Fairweather Podcast. Link in bio. Anyway, so we both got our final mocks. Let's just, how I want to do this, let's just run through it. So we'll do it like 6 at a time. 6, 12, 24. Yeah, we'll do it 6 at a time. So you go through your 6, I go through my 6, and then we're just gonna go through basically what every team should do, what you think, what you've been reading, etc. So I'll run through your first 6.
All right, for my first 6, I think Carolina definitely needs a quarterback. So, and it looks like Bryce, and I did all these with no trades, by the way. KK did one trade.
I only did one trade. It doesn't really change too much. So,
and I think there may be, before we start, I think I did like 2 or 3. I think there will be 2 or 3 trades in this, from what I'm hearing from beat writers and credible sources that are talking right now about the draft, about how teams are thinking. But my first 6, I think Carolina has to get the QB thing under a chokehold, because there really is nobody there. I think Bryce Young is the clear-cut candidate to go number 1. I know they haven't come out and leaked it and said it. They just said, we know a guy that we like, and he's going to be the one to draft.
Everyone's saying it's like a no-brainer at this point. Yeah.
But there was that Will Levis Reddit.
What do you think about that?
It's just a bunch of people that are probably like in his camp, just trying to shoot up his draft stock and stuff like that. And I don't I don't buy
Somebody's
that.
about to panic and trade to number 2.
The man eats whole bananas, like with the skin on. So like I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
with
no
the
way
skin on.
that's weird. Two, I think the Texans are going to pass on a quarterback from what I've been reading. I think they're going to take the best available there. Um, they may also trade down. They may also trade up with their 12th pick to try and maneuver to get the quarterback. But I think they're sitting pretty to get a quarterback at 12 if they stay there. So I think they're going to take best available on the board, which I think is the best play in the draft, which is Will Anderson Jr. I think he's going to go there. Some people have Tyree Wilson going there, which is crazy for me
Like
to think.
myself.
I know, and Buddy Brooks thinks the same thing too, and I think he's a little bit strange. I don't trust his draft process. Three, I have the Cardinals taking Jalen Carter because they need a defensive playmaker with the exits of J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones no longer there either now that he's in L.A. or Vegas.
Yeah.
Four, I have the Colts finally taking a breath on this one, getting the
Yeah.
quarterback that they need, which will be C.J. Stroud. If somebody trades up to get, I would put Will Levis there. They're in love with Will Levis. And they didn't think C.J. Stroud was going to fall that far. So C.J. Stroud is 4. 5, I have Tyree Wilson going here because you kind of talked me into this. His character, kind of guy Pete Carroll likes. I think he's going to be that one guy to go to Seattle. And then 6, I have Devin Witherspoon as the first cornerback off the board, going to the Detroit Lions.
All right. I mean, any explanation as to why with the Lions?
They need everything, and looking at NFL.com, they say they need wide receiver, which I don't think they really need. Well, now with Jamison Williams, they probably will. But they need wide receiver, and I don't think they're going to reach for a wide receiver that early when they got the 18th pick and can possibly get one there or in the second.
I read their draft strategy has not changed whatsoever, even with the suspension. So
I don't think so either. And if they do get wide receiver, Hyatt sitting in the second round, they can grab him right there. They need a tight end. I think that's way too early to grab a tight end in my case. And I forgot what the other thing they said to me. I think it was like defensive lineman or something like that.
Yeah. Or somebody opposite of Hutchinson.
Yeah. I think they need to get DBs because on our last show we talked about like who do they have at DB that stands out.
I mean, they traded away Okuda. That was the only person of name that I like actually remember.
Yeah, so go get you a good corner. There's a bunch of them in this draft. So get you Devon Witherspoon. That's what I took from this. Instead of the 3 things, I think what they have for the Lions is kind of foolish of what they need because those are things you can address day 2, not in day 1 where they're sitting, in my personal opinion.
Correct. So our top 6 features the same players in different order. So
I saw.
So from everything I've been hearing, Bryce Young is the clear cut like the envelope is already sealed for Roger Goodell. So, and obviously for obvious reasons, we heard the things with C.J. Stroud for like the last month and a half, and I know you weren't convinced about it. I was trying not to be convinced about it, but I'm like, I guess they're going to be stupid and not get Bryce Young because to me and you, I think he was the best quarterback in college. He's the best quarterback in this draft. So, I don't care about his height. I don't care about none of that.
No, it's a different league.
He played in the SEC. It's not like he played in the Big 12 or North Dakota State. He played in the SEC where everybody's bigger and stronger and faster, and he dominated it. So
before you continue, I was listening to Rich Eisen today, and Troy Aikman was on there, and they were talking about being a number 1 overall pick and like as a quarterback and like how people look at arm strength and stuff like that. Like that's the dumbest thing in the world to me. Like, you don't have to look at arm strength. And then Troy Aikman was saying like, this guy is NFL ready. Like you would hope every one of these guys are NFL ready that you're drafting because they're going to put them on your team.
Yeah.
And I think when we look at when teams look at quarterbacks, they're stuck in the past, kind of like how we say a lot of sports are stuck in their ways and stuff.
Yeah.
This is a way that I view it because like there have been very successful quarterbacks in the league that have been small.
Yeah.
And I think Bryce Young is just going to shock the world when he comes in. He's going to be really.
There's nothing to be shocked about. He's amazing. Everyone knows that. I don't know what people are that scared about. It's not like Drew Brees wasn't fantastic. It wasn't like
My honest thing is when I think about it, I think these GMs just get themselves like all worked up because they see CJ Stroud and they're like, damn, I love his height, but I wish he played like Bryce Young. So now they're going to bed thinking like, shit, who do I want? The taller guy or the more athletic and probably better player for our team?
And then next thing you know, Will Levis has the biggest hand out of all the people and all the other quarterbacks. Oh, I want him now. Like, I don't give a shit how big his hands are. Oh, he eats bananas without this, with the skin.
That
He's
man,
really strong. I don't care about that stuff. What did I watch on Saturday? I watched Bryce Young carve up everybody he played. So
at the end of the day, is the kid coachable and can he listen?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what you should be looking for in these drafts. And I feel like I should just be a guy just standing in, not a GM, just a guy to advise the GM.
Consultant.
Exactly. Is this guy coachable? Does he look like he can read the playbook? Is he smart? Is he intellectual? Does he want to be there as a quarterback? As a quarterback, are you going to be the first one in? You're going to be the first one out? You're going to be able to take accountability, unlike Zach Wilson when they ask you questions. Like these are big things that make sense for the first overall pick, and especially a quarterback. Continue now. Sorry.
And also shout out to the Pivot podcast because Bryce Young was on what their episode I think last week talking about everything. I forgot who it was prior to the draft before. No, I remember Devontae Smith. I watched Devontae Smith like on an interview on ESPN right before the NFL draft, and I was like, I definitely want Devontae Smith on my team. And fast forward, I watched Bryce Young on the Pivot podcast, and after that, I'm sold. I'm like, he's the most perfect quarterback. Like the way his mind thinks. I know that score thing came out like whatever it was with competency. I don't know whatever it was, and he scored like a 90. He was in the 90th percentile compared to CJ Stroud like in the 18th percentile. So it's like, what are you really getting from CJ? But yeah, to me, yeah, Bryce Young, he's the guy. Two, this it took me like 45 minutes to like settle on somebody for the Houston Texans at 2, because conventional wisdom, how we thought ever since the end of the NFL season, I guess they're getting their quarterback, either Bryce or CJ. So we all thought the same thing between then and now, right? So, the fact that it's been leaked like over and over, and then you look at the fact that it's D'Amico Ryan. I think we talked. I asked you last week. You think there's any chance? And you're like, nah, there's no chance. They're getting a quarterback. I'm sure you've come around to it now, right? Knowing that they'll probably use the second pick for a defensive player.
From what I keep seeing, yeah, I think it's just going to be best available on the board, and I have no gripe with that. Like you should definitely do that.
The reason why I put Tyree Wilson, it was because I heard from sources. I can't cite my sources, but that they're like in love with him, and they think JJ Watt and Tyree Wilson would be the next JJ Watt for them. Just athletic freak on the defensive line that can get after the quarterback, like plain and simple. Like I was watching a NFL, it was an NFL classic, but an older game. It was like the Texans versus the Colts or something like that, and JJ Watt was just this is like young JJ Watt, like in his prime. I was like, this dude is an animal. So when you have somebody like that on your defensive line, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, stuff like that, Michael Parsons, it just makes everything that much easier. So they're in love with him, so I went there. Colts, they got a choice. They're in love with Will Levis, I heard, but how do you pass on CJ Stroud? So to me, as much as they're in love with and even Anthony Richardson.
Hold on before you start. This is your trade. You say the Colts will trade to 3.
Correct. My bad. So yeah, I have the Colts trading up to number 3 because they've identified who they want, and they don't want to take a chance because obviously Arizona doesn't give a shit. They need help everywhere, so they will happily trade with whatever person wants that pick. And to me, the Colts need to go get that spot, because if there's a specific quarterback that they want, they got to make sure they go get him. If they wait, I don't know how much they love Will Levis, but I would assume the person trading to number 3 would be getting CJ Stroud. then maybe they'll be comfortable just sitting at 4 and drafting Will Levis. So to me, no matter what, with the Colts, it's either CJ Stroud or Will Levis. So for me, I'm going with CJ Stroud because I think this is how it's going to fall. Where if they trade up, and then I got the Cardinals only moving back one spot. And also, really quickly, Mitchell Trubisky, that was the same thing with him. Like they were the 3 seed, and they traded up all this stuff with third pick, and they traded away all these picks to get to number 2 so they can draft Mitchell Trubisky. So it's only one spot up. That's why, but conventional wisdom to me, I would they would have no choice to do that. And then I got Will Anderson going to the Cardinals. He's my favorite player in this draft. You know, the Cardinals would love to have somebody like him. And who did you have for the Cardinals picking? Jalen Carter. Yeah, I got Jalen Carter going to the Seahawks. If he's there at 5, I don't see Pete Carroll passing on him. It's just to me, it's not likely. So if he's there, he's running to the stage with that card. And at 6, I agreed with you with everything you said about Devon Witherspoon. I feel like we learned with Willard and Sauce last year. If you got that dog at corner, it's like the whole complexion of the Jets. I'm 100% sure right now Aaron Rodgers would not be a Jet if y'all didn't draft Sauce Gardner last year. Like he brought the swagger back to New York. Like, you guys were kind of like boring for the last how many years with what quarterbacks? Mark Sanchez and Chad Pennington. Like they haven't had anybody to like, whoa, you know what I mean? And Sauce Gardner brought the energy back to New York. And Aaron Rodgers is there now for like, all right, he put the cape on his back. So yeah, I mean, I like y'all. But the Lions, though, they're on the cusp because now that Aaron Rodgers out the division, it's up for the taking. Like this is the Vikings division, or this literally this is the most wide open it's been since before Brett Favre because it went from Brett Favre straight to Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers carried the torch well. We don't know enough about Jordan Love, but it's wide open. And I know how you feel about Dan Campbell. It's time to like get some dogs on your team and do what you got to do. So I agree with you with the Devon Witherspoon there. All right, let's get tricky. Let's go 7 through 14.
All right, so 7. This is the most this could go any way with 7. I could see Vegas going quarterback. I could see them going O-line. I could see them
make a case for why they would go quarterback. Because with Jimmy Garoppolo being there, I just don't.
Because Jimmy gets hurt a lot, and they're poised to fix the O-line and keep him healthy. And the O-line's pretty trash. So, like, remember we went to do it last year, and we're like, damn, who's on that O-line for the Raiders? We didn't know any of those dudes.
Yeah.
And poised for O-line would be that would be the poise for O-line. We want to make Jimmy healthy. So poised for quarterback, if Jimmy goes down, Jimmy, we're not going to have him for a long time. So we have the guy that we want waiting behind Jimmy, and then possibly cut Jimmy or trade Jimmy.
I mean, like him and Josh McDaniels go back. So why wouldn't they want him for a long time? If he can stay healthy for, like he knows that offense like
we can
the back of his hand.
We can sit here and pontificate. There's your word of the day.
Pontificate. There you go. Nomenclature. What is it? What?
Pontificate.
Pontificate. Well, I don't remember last week.
I don't remember it either.
But pontificate. That's the one. There you
go. But we can sit here and do that. But it's also, the Davis family. The way that they want results. So if they're not getting the results,
I don't trust nothing with the Davis family. Their draft history over the last 20 years has not been good.
It hasn't.
John Gruden drafted in the first and second round are not even on the team anymore.
Yeah, and even before that, the guys that have been there, like they're gone. They got rid of Amari Cooper. Like John Gruden cleaned house when he got there, which made no sense. So what I'm getting at, like quarterback, in case Garoppolo goes down, they've had a hard on for a quarterback the whole time. They're really in love with Anthony Richardson. They like his play style. They see him as a fit for that, but I don't think they're going to go that route. The Raiders are just like the Texans. They're just like the Cardinals. They need everything to be successful. The only thing they don't really need, or actually they could use it later on, is a wideout and a running back later on maybe. But I think they're going to go defense. Get a West Coast guy. You run a West Coast style offense, kind of. So get Christian Gonzalez. I think that's going to be the guy that you want. I feel like he looks and feels like a Raider to me.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, 8 is a bit tricky too with the Falcons.
Listen. I just want to say I'm proud of you for putting him in the top 10 because that's
Yeah,
scary with a running back. I did the
yeah.
same thing for the same team, so
Well,
that was good. That was a good ballsy move by you.
I've been seeing a lot of mock drafts
Yeah,
where Bijan is falling to 14 of the Patriots, and I'm like, ain't no way in hell is Bill Belichick going to take a running back.
bro. He's taking somebody from what did Sammy say from like New
Some
Mexico
Division 2
State,
guy, some division. He's going to
Tech.
trade back. He's going to trade back to get a corner.
He's gonna get somebody from Hillsborough Community College.
I think this guy is top 3 best player in this draft, Bijan Robinson. He's a no-brainer, but there's always that stigma about running backs. Oh, the shelf life and all of that. If there's a guy that single-handedly will make your team better, and it's going to be this guy. He's very humble. I thought he was going to be. I heard him speak. Super humble.
Very. I was impressed.
Yeah, I was impressed. They asked him who he compares himself to, and he was like LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, I like that.
Those are my favorite players. Those are the guys that I'm.
And then they asked him, "Who do you want to play for?" What do you say?
He said the Eagles.
He said Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
boy. If we get him,
I could see him. I could see him falling there. But I think it's too good for the Hawks Hawks to pass up, man, or the Falcons, not the Hawks.
Falcons, yeah.
I think it's too good for them to pass up. I know their rookie running back had like a semi-good year last year, but he's at best like a number 2. And Cordell Patterson is a Swiss Army knife, and the coach is from the Tennessee system where
so he knows
with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, go get your dog and ride that horse.
Exactly. He needs that. So
I think he had like Mariota, and then now they have the Ritter, who's like the same kind of player.
Yeah, but just younger. So we'll see what they got a Ritter. Who knows? Maybe they take a quarterback in the second round. We'll see. 9, it's been what I've had all year. The Polish guy going to the Bears, Peter Skoronski.
We're on the same page there, sir.
Where are we going to 10? Nolan Smith. I have you guys getting him.
Same page there, sir.
I think he's just too sweet of a player to pass up. I could see him going to Vegas or Atlanta, but I think those are the players that they're going to select there.
I think Atlanta is a dangerous one. They'll probably
get Atlanta's definitely dangerous. Those 3 picks right there are definitely dangerous. This one's another dangerous one because they're one that we've been talking about trading up to possibly get that 3 pick, but I just think that they're sitting pretty knowing that someone's going to fall, and they've done their diligence on either or, and I think they're going to get one of them. This could also
I think if they've targeted somebody, they're going to go. It's either them or the Colts to me. Yeah. It's like who's going to be the one that strikes, because if they have identified somebody and they know for a fact that Texans are going a defense number 2, one of them is walking to the podium at number 3. That's how I see it.
Yeah. And I think they're going to get Anthony Richardson. I think he'll be the 3rd quarterback off the board. They're already talking about trying to deal Tannehill draft night and move on from Tannehill. So I think they're ready to kick the tires on that experiment, get younger, get Anthony Richardson. And then I think that at 12, the Texans are sitting pretty to get the quarterback that they need. You've got the best defensive player in college football and in this draft in Will Anderson. And then you get one of the better quarterbacks, and they get Will Levis at this pick right here. So that's what I have from 7 to 12.
All right. I think ours is very similar, actually. Well, for the Raiders, though, I went with Paris Johnson Jr. there.
I've seen him going as high as 3.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have like a generational tackle, left tackle, right tackle, just one that the guy is gonna like anchor down that line, you go get him. And I think the Raiders need to start. We're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, right? They got to protect his ass because his dumbass finds a way to get hurt. You get yourself a Paris Johnson Jr. and Jimmy Garoppolo will live to see another down because he'll have a little bit more time just to get rid of the ball or do whatever he has to do. So I think that's the direction that they should go or could go. For me, with the Falcons, to me, it's going to be they're going to take the best player available. So that it identifies. It depends on who they see as the best player. If you look at anybody's draft boards, Bijan Robinson is like top 3 talent. So, in my opinion, he's there. They're either going to go him or Nolan Smith because the upside with Nolan Smith is ridiculous. But to me, I went with Bijan as well. Skoronski, we're on the same page there. You sold me on that one. I might even. There's no argument for me. You're absolutely right. Northwestern, yeah, you go get your Polish guy.
Go get him.
And then we both got Nolan Smith going to Philly. I read something like 3 hours ago that the Eagles are going to probably position themselves to go into the top 9, so between 1 and 9. We're at 10 right now, and probably go get Jalen Carter or the best defensive player available. So it's a possibility that we're probably one of those teams looking at that third slot with the Cardinals. Who else would we want to trade down?
We're gonna have to give up both
The Falcons would want to trade down. Raiders, they'd probably trade down too. So
Houston at 12 is saying they want to trade down from that as well. Is what I've been hearing.
They must know something that we don't know. So if that's the case, because it's Nick Casario, he comes from that Patriot system. He probably loves Hendon Hooker so much that he's like, I'll wait till right here, boom, and then strike. So we'll see. But I went Nolan Smith to the Eagles, Will Levis. So we both went quarterback there. You think Anthony Richardson? I think Will Levis. I think Will Levis just looks like a Titan. He looks like a Colt. He looks like a Titan to me. So I went with him, and then I got Anthony Richardson going to the Texans. We just basically swapped that, right? Yeah. So yeah. I got Anthony Richardson going to the Texans. So right. I think 12. If they're going defense number 2, that fan base is not going to allow them to go into next season with whoever they got in their locker room now. I'm sorry, because yeah. So all right, go ahead. We go 13 to 20, and then we'll go 20 to 31. So okay. Yeah.
So 13, Green Bay. Green Bay is really a wild card. They've got Jordan Love now taking the helm. The defense is kind of okay. Like their defense is kind of okay.
Yeah, they did a good job with that defense.
They could probably plug in another D line guy or linebacker. I think the secondary is okay. But for and the O line is pretty intact and good. But for your young quarterback who's going to come out there and start now, you need him to be successful. So I went tight end here. I had them get in Dalton Kincaid.
On the same page.
First tight end off the board. It could go defense too, but I think those are the only 2 picks that I could see them getting. I could also see them going after a wide receiver too. So I think,
which would be hilarious because Aaron Rodgers has been waiting his whole career for them to draft a receiver in the first round. And in my head, I'm like, yo, just to be spiteful, go get Jackson Smith and Jigba.
They could do that.
Just right, yo. I would laugh my ass off if they did that. That'd be some him, I am him kind of shit.
Yeah. Patriots, I think, as wacky as they are and the things that could happen with this pick, I think Miles Murphy is like the perfect player for Bill to grab right here.
Yeah.
And I think Miles Murphy is going to be just like Nolan Smith. Him and Nolan Smith are my 2 sleepers in this draft, I think, that aren't going in the top 3 or the top 5 or the top 10 maybe. I think he's going to be good. And I think Bill is a defensive-minded guy. I think that's what he's going to get him. We would hope he would go wide receiver, but we know he's not going to go that route. So
impossible. And if he does, he'll draft somebody you never heard of because they're like a 4-3-5.
He could easily take an offensive lineman too to help Mac Jones too. So Paris Johnson to go there. I haven't.
Ain't no way. But I see your little homer pick. You think Paris Johnson's gonna make it to 15?
It's 15. I didn't homer this pick. I'm honestly okay with Broderick Jones. I'd be more happier with Darnell Wright, but I've been looking at people's mock drafts that have come out, and they could see that falling to there. Like I've seen Paris Johnson going as low as uh I think it was to the Bucks. I saw people putting him there.
The best offensive lineman, in my opinion, in the draft is not ever going to make it to 19 or any
I don't
team.
I
Like
don't
you
think
said,
so
it's
either.
literally impossible.
I don't think so either, but there's a lot of holes on a lot of these teams.
Because you
So
said you saw it goes as high as 2 or
I've
3.
seen him go as high as 3 to the
3,
Cardinals.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason for that.
Yeah, but I also don't think the Cardinals are going to go out there and make that decision. I think they're going to go defense because they got that play out of Watt and Chandler. Like, oh my God, we can
But
recreate.
they also have a quarterback with a torn ACL. And they're
They
like,
do.
yo, we need to protect our 200 and whatever $1 million
Listen,
investment.
man, the Cardinals are a crazy team. All right, the
I'm not
owner
gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch. What's that show called?
cringeworthy. Hard Knocks.
I ain't watching Hard Knocks on them. I'm sorry.
I kind of homered this one, but I also did my homework on it at the
Kind of.
same time. All right. I did my homework on it because I could see him not being there. Like we usually covet tackles and
I can
guards and
tell he won't make it past us. I'll tell you that much. Like 0% chance Howie Roseman passes on somebody like him. So
I
for
would imagine
context,
so. I would imagine so. My honest
yeah,
pick, if you had to tell me draft day, it's going to be Broderick Jones or
yeah,
Darnell Wright. And I
right,
think, in my personal opinion, I think Darnell Wright's going to be like a guy to pay attention to on the O line side.
yeah. I like him.
Yeah. 16. You didn't put this guy in the first round. Honestly, I've never even heard of him coming
He
into the.
was in my first round in mock 2.0, and I just
Yeah,
took him out. I was like, I'm gonna take him out because everyone. I don't know where he came from. Like out of nowhere, he's on all these mocks. I'm like, why? So,
collegiate
but
Kansas.
you know what I heard? They said
Hmm.
like he got that Aaron Donald in him. Like
Yeah,
he doesn't look the part, but he got the quick hands and the quick moves. Obviously, he's from Pitt as well.
yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I remember Aaron Donald in college. I was like, oh yeah, he's the one. If
yeah.
they're
I remember.
comparing him to Aaron Donald,
Could be the one. You
could
didn't
be the
put him in
one.
the first round, but I had Washington. Washington is another one that needs some things. They need um O line. They
They
need.
don't. They won't admit that they need a quarterback though. They think
Yeah, they
Sam
won't.
Howell is the
They're,
answer.
they're stuck on Howell. So
Okay.
there's a lot of shit organizations, but I think Cansey's going to go to Washington. I think that's the guy that they get there. It could be a corner, could be Brian Branch, but I'm more comfortable with Cansey going there. Steelers, I think they stick right by their lineage. I think they take Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah,
They're
I
the
like that
Marcus
one.
Ford corner, so that's why I put Joey Porter there.
Yeah,
Um, the Lions, I think they want to get better at defense since that was their soft spot
yeah,
last
because they
year.
could score away anybody last year.
Yeah, so get the best edge rusher that's available and put him on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, Lucas Van Ness. You got the white line right there, so run with it. Two big white boys right there in the middle. Uh, the Bucks, they definitely need to replace that O line. Um, Darnell Wright, I think he's the guy that's a no brainer. You go get, and then I think Pete Carroll beefs up the O line and gets Broderick Jones with 20, but that could easily be anything else. It could be more defense. It could be, they say, receiver.
I
I
heard
want,
that too. Yeah, I heard that
which
too.
I think is crazy, but I could.
It's
If
not really crazy. I mean, it's Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfro. There's no more Darren Waller.
no, I'm talking about Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. Well, I don't think they love Tyler Lockett that much. Honestly, I don't. I think
I think they
obviously they
do.
love. Obviously they love Metcalf,
I think they
but
like Lockett. They just know he's getting up there in age.
so it might be time to kind of like like get a little younger at that position. Obviously DK's the guy, but get somebody in the slot that can do some crazy shit. Or I know they're just big time receiver. I can see that too with them. Was
All right.
that was up to 20, right?
That was up to 20, yes.
We started at what 13? Yeah.
Yeah,
So we both went Dalton Kincaid to the Packers. But I would love for him to draft a receiver. That'd be hilarious. I want to see what Aaron Rodgers says if that happens. 14, I went Christian Gonzalez there. They've had success drafting a Hispanic player before until he shot his homeboy. So they're like, let's get another Latino and see what happens.
I like those Latin guys.
Yo, but Aaron Hernandez before he went south, he was a dog. Him and Gronk.
He was good.
Him and Gronk were crazy. Like they were doing this shit. So I think Christian Gonzalez might just kind of fit that. You know what I mean? That he'll get you another one. Hopefully he makes it to a second contract.
A killer on the field, not in the streets.
Hopefully he makes it to a second contract. But I do like him. I do like his play from what I've been watching on YouTube because I wasn't watching Oregon games last year. Let's be honest. But I'm like, let me see how he actually plays, and I like his film. I got Broderick Jones going to y'all because Paris Johnson ain't making it down there. So y'all gonna get Broderick Jones, which you will still be happy about. Am I right?
Oh no, I will be. I'll be happy.
All right.
Any one of those three. It's just not Skoronski. I don't want Skoronski. Get the Bears have him.
I mean, he's good, bro.
To be honest with you, I want Paris Johnson or Darnell Wright. Those are the two. And then Broderick.
Okay, you're not getting Paris Johnson, so you want Darnell Wright?
never say never, bro.
Unless y'all trading up, y'all ain't getting Paris Johnson.
I'm having the best week of my life. Let me.
I know. I am bring you back down to earth. There's a 0% chance that the Philadelphia Eagles will ever pass on an offensive lineman of that caliber. I'm sorry. I mean, it could be Michael Jordan in the draft. It don't matter. If they go get the offensive lineman. So just so you know, he ain't making it past us if that's the case. Washington, I went Joey Porter Jr. I wanted to do that for the same thing with Pittsburgh, but I think the need for corner for Washington is more drastic than anything. So they need to fix their secondary. I thought Brian Branch too, but I was like, no, I'll go corner because they can get safety. Safety is like a weird position to draft too early on. But I do have Brian Branch going to the Steelers. He just fits that, that like a Minka Fitzpatrick, that Alabama player, that kind of, you know what I mean? It just kind of just makes sense to me. I went Miles Murphy to the Lions. You went Van Ness. Yeah, so we both got them kind of bolstering up that like an edge rusher type of situation to be opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. I don't think they can go wrong with either one of those, but I think they definitely need another pass rusher. I got Darnell Wright to the Bucks. That will be huge. If Jason Light, I don't have any faith in Jason Light. You know how we feel. He didn't call Tom Brady. Tom Brady called him. Yeah, exactly. And he got all those deals done. Like everybody signing the whole roster. That wasn't Jason Light. That was because Tom Brady was there. So I think the curtain's about to get pulled back again.
Well, what happened to all those deals? What happened to all those deals? They all got cut this year. So yeah.
I mean, don't forget this man drafted Roberto Aguayo. His first name was Robert or Roberto, whatever it was. He drafted a kicker from Florida State. He's not even in the XFL or the USFL anymore. Like he's so garbage, and that was just second round pick. But anyway, my bad. If you're listening, my bad, bro. I didn't even mean to be, you know what I mean? Like I don't want that, but listen, second round. Miles Murphy to the Lions, and then Darnell Wright to the Bucks, and at 20, I go to Hendon Hooker because reports are saying he could be ready by week 1. Geno Smith, how long was his deal? 2 years?
2 or 3.
Yeah. I think this is definitely a spot that we can get them get their quarterback, groom him behind Geno Smith, who obviously learned a lot in the last year. I think that's definitely a good spot for the Seahawks to go get themselves the quarterback for the future. Because Geno Smith is in his 30s now. I mean, he might got to go a little younger at that position. So, but I'm happy they paid Geno though. So there's that. All right, finish it off.
So personally on Hendon Hooker, before I continue and finish it off, I think he'll slip to day 2, or sneaky pick. I've been seeing people making the Ravens possibly get him or Anthony Richardson fall into the Ravens.
I know.
I just don't see that happening.
It's just so disrespectful to me.
It is. The only out of the rest of the teams that we have, because we didn't put Hooker in the top anywhere else, the only team that I could see him going to would maybe be this, or actually no, I don't even see him going there. So yeah, I see him as a day 2 pick. And I think he falls sweet to our boy Pete Carroll over there, and he can get him day 2.
I mean, we both got him going there though. Like to me, it just fits. To me, it just fits. But
it does.
You talked about it. There's people who have ranked him as high as 3 on their draft board, as far as just overall talent. And if you think about it, it's there. And then people are concerned about his age. Cool. Tom Brady just retired at 45 years old. Like quarterbacks are protected more than ever. They can play for a long time now. So 25, you still could probably get 15 years out of 25-year-olds. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. So to me, if he makes it to day 2, that would be I'll be a little shocked because I feel like when you hear all the noise, like Malik Willis, I knew he was going to slip because I didn't really hear like I heard it at first, but then when you actually got closer to it, kind of that chatter kind of went away. As we get closer to the draft, Hendon Hooker's like rising. Like he's become like a hot commodity. And I mean, I almost had the Texans taking him at 12 over Anthony Richardson, but to me, it wasn't logical to do that. But I almost had, and it could very well happen if they trade down because I heard they really loved Hendon Hooker. So we'll see what happens with that. But day 2, that's just too late for my blood. The way people are talking about him, so
yeah,
the talent's there.
I just don't think we're going to get 5 quarterbacks and this is the craziest draft, by the way. Like last year, I was really good with the draft. I was comfortable with my picks. I think I did really good. I think I graded really good on my draft card. But this year I'm just like, I don't know. So 21 through 31, this is gonna get super crazy for me.
It gets wild from 21 to 31.
It gets wild because I literally have 1, 2, 3 receivers, almost 4 going in a row. And
same. We're the same there.
They're projected to have only maybe 1 or 2 receivers go in this draft, which is insane too.
But you know how it works for receivers. Whenever the first one's taken, then they all start falling. Like literally, it's like who's gonna say chicken first.
And I know Jackson Smith is like the top dog, but people are in love with Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
I think we both
really
have
do love him.
The Ravens. So 21, I have the Chargers finally getting the Keenan Allen replacement and worrying about that because Keenan Allen is good, but he's hurt a lot. So get you a nice receiver to complement, and also Mike Williams is always hurt. So you'll have a good 3 there learning and just become a budding star and grow with Justin Herbert.
We're the same there. We both picked him.
Zay Flowers, I have him, as another like, hey, Lamar, come on back. We got you another tool.
We're the same there.
I think Zay Flowers but don't be shocked if Zay Flowers goes higher. I've been seeing his name go up the draft.
Yeah.
Like Washington. This is crazy. The beat writer said the Jets are looking at wide receivers too, which I don't believe that's going to happen.
Man, listen, whatever it makes, they're probably going to try to overcompensate to make Aaron Rodgers happy, which is going to screw them up because they're like, oh, we'll do whatever you want. Whatever the Packers couldn't do, we'll do.
First off, stop it. Okay.
I'm giving you, listen, if this was a different team, you would agree with me. If this was a different team, you would agree with me.
I'm not listening. And Green Bay could easily take a receiver to spite Aaron Rodgers. So
I agree.
At 23, I think this guy's size is just too big to pass up. Justin Jefferson ain't a really tall dude. So get you a tall dude on the opposite side of him with Quentin Johnston. I don't know the hype. Like you said, I don't get the hype.
I don't see it. Sorry.
But he's big like Mike Williams. That's what they like about him. He's got hands. So Quentin Johnston's the guy that I got going to the Vikings. Jaguars at 24. Brian Branch, they just love SEC guys.
Yeah.
If he's not from Clemson out of the ACC or Florida State, they're going to get an SEC guy. And I think Brian Branch is a guy that may slip a little bit. He could definitely be in the mid, but I think he's a guy that if he's there, the Jaguars will pounce on, no pun intended, and get him.
He made like a no pun intended, and what was the word again? Pontificate.
Yeah.
Pontificate. So Yo, his Jeopardy is on point today. Continue.
All right, 25. I think we've been bashing the Giants,
Yeah,
hate stacks. Go get you a receiver. It would pain me to see a USC guy go there, but I think Jordan Addison's the guy to go there. I think he's a bang for your buck at that pick. Like he's very underrated for what he's going to do for them. Cowboys love offense. I've
we're on the same page.
had Bijan Robinson going there, but I just don't think he falls that far.
Yeah,
Michael Meyer or Mayer,
man.
they need a tight end. They lost Dalton Schultz. I think this is a good replacement. Young guy, coachable guy. It will be good. Hopefully doesn't pan or play out into like a Gavin Escobar for them. So hopefully he becomes really good.
Yeah,
Um, this one is the trickiest one of them all because
yeah.
I was up late last night. Um,
What time was yours done?
Huh? Oh, I did mine last night.
Because I sent. So guys, I sent mine to A-Rod because he's the graphic designer behind a lot of the things that you see on this page. I think I sent to him like at midnight, and I had started working at like 7 p.m. Like a lot. There's a few picks that kept me up the whole time, and this Buffalo pick is definitely one of them. So continue.
I did probably 6 mock drafts to the point that I felt comfortable. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. And I think
same.
I was done by 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was reading the two beat writers for the Bills. And this is what doesn't make sense to me. I know you homered your 30 pick, even though you'll say it's not, but it's
Oh, I
definitely
definitely homered that. I ain't
yeah,
gonna lie.
you
That's an
definitely
ideal situation. We go get our running back after we get Noah
yeah,
Smith.
that's a homer pick if I've
But
ever
you saw Buffalo getting that, right?
yes.
I've seen that too.
And I don't understand it because they went and got Cook second round last year, and you saw what he did the second half of the season. He could show you he could be a one back.
For whatever reason, Buffalo's been linked to getting a running back for a while. Like they've been linked to being one of the team to trade for what's his name from Dreadnought from
Yeah,
the
Henry.
Titans.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry. Like they've been linked for that as well. So for whatever reason, and what's his name? Josh Allen's been talking about it. Like I'm trying to be a lot more conservative with my body moving forward. I'm trying not to take I'm trying to take less hits.
yeah.
They're going to probably rely a lot heavier on the running game in the next few seasons to protect Josh Allen. Honestly,
I think so too. I also think like they're in love with Josh Hyatt a lot. I've been reading
I
that
heard.
like they
Yeah,
like the kid from
I
Tennessee,
heard that North Carolina kid too. Like what is it,
Josh
Josh
Downs.
Downs?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Justin Hyatt and Josh Downs. They
yeah.
like both of those guys. So receivers and players here. Also, as an O line guy is also play here. I was reading they liked uh Osiris Torrance. They like him.
Yeah, I like him too. I really do like him too.
But I just think it's DB. I think they really need to replenish the DB core. They've been known for being a good defensive team,
Yeah,
and they took a little slip last year, but they were still pretty solid. So I have them getting Deontay Banks. It's a weird fit for me. I could see them going Forbes or Banks. I just feel like Banks is graded higher, and I didn't go by like what would be the best fit. I just like that guy shouldn't be
you
at
just went
20.
on talent.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going off the talent. So I have them getting him. It could easily be Forbes at this pick.
Okay.
At 28, Eli Apple is trash. Get you a DB, get the best one on the board. I have him getting Emmanuel Forbes because the
Freaking Eli, man. What
Bengals
a
like staying in the SEC, so get that guy. Eli Apple is absolute ass. Cut your ties with that clown.
dumbass Eli Apple. My bad.
Um,
My bad.
nah, don't be a bad trash. The Saints, I think they draft close to home on a lot of their players, and Osiris Torrance. I think they got Saints guys out there watching Florida games, so I think that's a bang for your buck, and at that position, and you need the
He's
O
solid,
line.
man. He's solid.
He's a good
I
player.
used when I played Madden Dynasty mode when he was on when he got we got to his draft class, he was a superstar when I drafted him already a superstar. I was like, damn, this dude's
Um,
solid.
I got y'all getting O line help now too. I have you getting Anton Harrison. I think he's going to be a good player. I don't know if he'll fall that far, but there's going to be an O-line guy. You're going to get an O-line guy, and you're going to either get a defensive player to be John Robinson at 10 or whether you
Correct.
trade
I
or
agree.
not. And then 31, every beat writer I've seen has said Will McDonald. So I just
So you just went with
I've looked at every draft, and I would say 9 out of 10 had Will McDonald in the
Literally, I was gonna put Will McDonald too. I was like, nah, screw that. I gotta go outside the box on that.
yeah. I just don't see them getting an O-line guy.
Yeah.
Actually, oh no. They went and got the dude from Jacksonville to
Yeah, but
replace.
I think they're trying to move him from right to left tackle, which is not going to work.
It
It's a
could
different
be.
mechanics.
It could definitely be the guy you have there, which is DeJuan Jones, and it could be an offensive lineman, Anton
Yeah,
Harrison. I just think like we poo-poo on the Chiefs defense, and like last year we're like, oh, they were pretty good. But
they almost couldn't stop us, but
yeah,
the ball fell out of Jalen Hurts' hand. That's all.
yeah.
The ball
So
fell out of his hand.
I think getting better in the draft at defense is going to be that, and get you a beast in a dude that went to Northern Iowa. So, I feel
Damn.
like that fits the mold. That's like close to home, type of.
Hey, whatever floats their boat. They're the defending champs. I mean,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes 2 times. You know what I mean?
I feel like when I look at teams real quick before you run through your 21 through 31, like I feel like when I look at teams, I look at guys that are close to home
Yeah.
and like fit the mold of that team. So like,
Skoronsky was a
it's a
obvious
no-brainer.
fit.
It's a no-brainer. I'd be shocked if they took somebody.
You literally sold me on that one. I was like, he's
I
damn right.
but I feel like the Chiefs do that too. Like they go down as far as Texas, but they don't go to
Where's
Cal.
Pacheco come from?
Rutgers. He was Far
Oh
East.
yeah,
Yeah. But like they normally stay home, like Northern Iowa, Iowa State,
Midwest.
Oklahoma, Midwest.
Midwest to like the South a little bit with Oklahoma and Texas, but we're just still
Yeah,
technically Midwest. Yeah.
yeah, and some SEC guys because like you can't pass on them if they're there. I get that.
Big 12 too, though. They will get that's what it is. That's the Big 12 conference.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't see him like ever saying, "Ooh, that guy from the ACC really stood out. Let's go grab him." No, I just don't see that from these.
All right, it's my turn.
All right,
I'm starting where at 21, 21.
21.
All right, we both agreed with Jackson Smith and Jigwa. I don't have to elaborate on that. It's just to me, Keenan Allen, 33? So Mike Williams is always hurt. Yeah, go get yourself your next guy. Plus, he's the best receiver in the draft, in my opinion. From seeing him as a Michigan fan, I know he's solid. So 22, I think we both went Zay Flowers. I think it fits Baltimore exactly what they need. I think Lamar Jackson needs to be coerced in any way possible. Look, we done got you Zay Flowers, who is probably going to be the best receiver in this draft class. We don't got you OBJ, who made the catch, the guy that's made the catch, and
He's
was
got a
almost
name.
Super Bowl MVP. So
He's got a name.
He's got a name, and you still got your boy Mark Andrews. Like you got. There's no excuse now.
And Bateman, and you got Bateman.
And Rashad Bateman.
But he's
at this point, if they draft Zay Flowers too, if they keep Lamar at least like a franchise, whatever it is, there's no excuse. As long as he's healthy, we got everything done for you.
As long as he's healthy, and all of these guys are healthy, because we said it last year with the running backs and what happened.
I know. I mean, OBJ could very well, knock on wood, but I mean, he's coming off an ACL injury. I mean, shit, his Achilles can. All right, I mean, let me not even. I ain't gonna talk about it. So.
Don't even do it. Don't even
go ahead, OBJ. One love. All right, next I went after Jordan Addison. So we're talking about receivers going back to back to back. I got Jordan Addison going to the Vikings. You have Quentin Johnston. We both still don't see the hype, but I do know that Jordan Addison is better than Quentin Johnston, and the Vikings knew to draft Justin Jefferson when our dumbass didn't. So, in my opinion, I think they know how to draft receivers. They didn't draft Chris Carter, but they went and got Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Stephon Diggs. Like they know how to get receivers. So to me, go get Jordan Addison, and they'll be very happy with that. With Adam Thielen out of the picture. Then Jacksonville, I went Deontay Banks. You're right, they do like SEC guys, but I went with ACC on this one. I think Deonte Banks is
talent is there.
He's one of the better. He's one of the better corners in this draft. He could definitely go in the top 16, in my opinion. But so to me, if they, depending on how they do their draft board and their grades, I think Deonte Banks will grade well for them to be the top choice at that position. And then Giants, I think mock draft 1, I went tight end. Mock draft 2, I went defensive lineman or offensive lineman, one of those. Mock draft 3, I'm going wide receiver. They need to not, they throw it into trash cans. Like, no offense, Giant fans, but like we blew you out like 2 times when we had Jalen Hurts on the field. We destroyed y'all, and our defense feels like it's more inspired when he's there. Y'all ain't got nobody that scares us. So y'all need to go get, if Quentin Johnson's what they say he is, big body receiver. I remember when y'all got Hakeem Nicks. Hakeem Nicks scared me. I was like, yo, this is big body UNC. He looked like a basketball player from Tar Heels. Like, he was just a big body receiver. Plaxico Burress, big body. So I'm like, if y'all go get your big body, y'all might know what to do with that. So I think, selfishly, I wouldn't want them to pick him. But if they did, it would make sense. And if it works, then God bless them. So Quentin Johnson to the Giants. We both went Michael Mayer or whatever it is to the Cowboys, replace Dalton Schultz. I got Emmanuel Forbes. You went Deonte Banks. So we both think they're going to go corner. I think that's another person that kind of just came out of nowhere for me personally. But they were like, yeah, he had like 6 pick sixes or something like that. I'm like, oh, this dude is a house call. And the Buffalo Bills, what do they like? They like that flashy shit. They do. I mean, think about it. They went and got themselves a Von Miller. They got a Stephon Diggs, Mr. Flashy. They got Josh Allen, who's just running over people. Like, they seem to me like they need some like pizzazz. So, somebody who's getting pick sixes, I mean, he know what the hell he's doing. He can take it to the house, take it to the house, take it to the house. So I went Emmanuel Forbes there. Osiris Torrance. If he's there at 28, I think that would be a very good pick for the Bengals because and if you went with Forbes there, I think the need is a lot more to protect Joe Burrow from getting sacked 55,000 times.
I think so too. Even when we think they did well, they do.
Even when they tried, they don't try well enough.
We can't get it right with the Bengals.
Hey, listen, go get yourself Osiris. All right, go get you an SEC Gator lineman. I could trust Gator linemen. They always seem to do a good job.
Osiris, get you old dirty, baby. Get you old dirty.
Thanks. So I went Osiris there. And then the Saints, I went Luke Van Ness. You went Osiris there. I think offensive line obviously can be a pick, but their defensive line got decimated through free agency, so they need to kind of start retooling. And you talking about like fit. I think Luke Van Ness kind of just looks like a Saint to me. I was like, yeah, he looks like a New Orleans Saint. So it whatever reasons it worked. Yes, I went homer pick here, and I took Jahmyr Gibbs because if I was the GM, that's what I would do. We can definitely, if you gun to my head, I would say we're drafting an offensive lineman here. But if they have any sense, if we don't get Bijan at 10, and we go Nolan Smith or whatever defensive player we decide to go, Devon Witherspoon, if he happens to be there, I wouldn't mind that as well. 30 needs to go be Jahmyr Gibbs because a lot of people have Jahmyr Gibbs slightly ahead of Bijan Robinson from their grading. So listen, I can only go off of what the experts, quote unquote, say. And what do we talk about? As you see, roll tide. Mm-hmm. Roll tide.
There is, but where did the greats go to school at? Where did Marshall Faulk go to school?
I don't know. What, San Diego State?
San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego. That's what I said. Yeah.
Where did LaDainian Tomlinson go?
Marshall?
Texas Christian.
TCU. Got it.
So
I don't know what that means to you. What that means to this draft.
I just think we both know running backs are pumped out of certain schools. And I think Texas pumps them out, and I think Alabama pumps them out.
And so, Jahmyr Gibbs is right there.
I know.
So we go get his ass.
I've heard Bijan Robinson's name all year, and Jahmyr Gibbs
which
is good.
I've heard too. But I heard there's a nice selection of quote unquote experts and draft people and blase blase. Not Bijan. Jahmyr Gibbs, they like him. And we talking, we talking road side. Derrick Henry, what's his name that went to the Saints?
We'll go through the whole list, but I get what you're
You
saying.
know, Alvin Kamara was there for a second.
Would you take Gibbs?
Who's your favorite running back that plays for the Steelers?
Oh, my boy Najee.
Najee Harris,
California boy, should have went to USC, but he went to Bama. Love it.
And then Chiefs, I went DeJuan Jones. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, draft. That we got that shit done. You can check it out on our pod. You can comment on the pod as well.
KK, we're gonna get this done, bro.
Y'all doing well?
Oh my! It's a minute 46 and we're up by 10.
Damn, ain't that some shit? The New York Knicks, guys. We're about to witness A-Rod live emotion with the New York Knicks make it to the second round.
Don't talk about. I said 6. We're gonna do it in 5.
To go play who? The Miami Heat.
Oh God, you'll catch me.
That would be fun, bro. That would be a fun series.
You'll catch me in South Beach.
All right. So before we get to the NBA, because the playoffs are exciting too. But anything you want to tie anything on the bow for the NFL draft tomorrow? Anything that you look and think about it? We got Trey Lance who's on the market. We got
I really expect this to be like a trade heavy draft. There's and I know we heard that last year too, but I feel like this year teams are being really aggressive. Trey Lance is a possibility to get moved.
I think to the Ravens. I really have a weird feeling that the Ravens will be like, screw it, we'll go get him.
Ryan Tannehill is another name to watch. I'm so sorry. Derrick Henry is another name too. There's a lot of movement that could happen for picks, for anything. Just like we saw AJ Brown get moved draft night.
That's what I'm saying, draft day.
Anything can happen. So I expect some trades. I expect at least maybe 3 trades to happen in the first round. I feel like it's
probably going to be more. If there's, I don't know what Vegas is saying, like over or under trades. If I was the Vegas guy, I'd probably set it like at 4.5.
I set it at 3. That's what I
set it at 4.5.
I feel like this is chicken. This is chicken right now, and I feel like there's a lot of guys that are chicken.
Yeah.
And the way we have this position, it looks great in our mind, but I feel like we're both going to be all types of fucked up and wrong with this.
I mean, of course. I mean, like, you know how this shit goes.
Yeah,
this is how it works. At the end of the day, when we do mock draft, guys, we're just nerds who love football, and we're just trying to predict how we would do it if we were GMs. Because at one point in our lives, we all think we could be a GM of a team because we've seen Howie Roseman do stupid shit. We've seen the Jets do stupid shit. So we know I wouldn't have made that pick. So it's fun to do this. We're going to do it again next year. So buckle up.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
And I don't know if anyone's going to trade into the first round. Like, I remember I know you asked some people about the Dolphins possibly.
The Dolphins are they're right. They're too high up. They're like in the 50s. There's just no way they can get down to the 20s.
Yeah. So.
But I think there's definitely going to be, I think the Chiefs don't give a shit about that 31st pick.
McDonald.
Somebody could definitely go get that 31st pick from them. I think Buffalo, they don't really give a shit about that pick. They can move down too. So there's a few teams in there. I'm like, they're not going to give a shit. So might as well go get you. You'll go get your boy in the first round now, or whatever. So definitely trades.
Crazy thing is we have like every position going in this draft in the first round, but a linebacker.
Except linebacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the only team from what I was reading, the only team that's linked to a linebacker was Buffalo Bills. Because they lost Tremaine Edmonds. And I'm not going to go through the names off the top of my head, but there was like 3 guys that they were looking at. So if there's going to be a linebacker, it's probably going to be the Buffalo Bills. Outside of that, don't see it. Remember, Nakobe Dean went in the 3rd round last year. Just Nakobe Dean went in the 3rd round. Thank you. Was it 3rd or 4th?
I think it was 3rd.
It was 4th, I think. The Kobe D went in the 4th round last year, guys. So you can go get you a linebacker that you love later in the draft. So putting a bow on it, I think the word on the street, if you're listening right now, I'm probably gonna be at Henderson's tomorrow. So Henderson's, it's like right next to what we went last year, Blind Goat. It's like right next to Blind Goat. They built it like a couple months ago, brand new. I went there to go watch.
I know where it's at.
Yeah, it's like across the street from like Pete's Place or something like that.
Yeah,
is it Pete's Place or whatever that shit is?
Don't go to Pete's Place.
I've been there a few times. That shit is funny because they do karaoke at night.
Yeah,
them drunk old folk, man. They make me laugh, dog. They do make me laugh. It's like it gets that old bar feeling. Everybody smoking cigarettes and shit.
Yeah.
And doing karaoke and drinking cheap liquor. So
yeah.
All right. Let's get it. First and foremost, the NBA playoffs this year, even though some series might not make it past 5, including the Knicks series, because I'll be damned. Looks like they finally figured it out. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Dolan for like a year and a half. I feel like they've just stay your ass away from us.
Stay the fuck in your office,
Stay away the fuck from us and let us figure this shit out on ourselves. And damn, the Lakers are getting ass beat. So I guess we're gonna have to do this shit in Los Angeles, LeBron. Anyway, so yeah, I think the Knicks have finally. I mean, the fact that they went and got Jalen Brunson, that's how I know. Okay, they get it. They didn't go for because you know how it is. Think about it.
Not even that. We did get Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson is godsend.
I know, but think about it. They like the Knicks, from what we know over the last how many years, they go after big fish. Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony, and then it dropped on down to now. Like, let's go see if we can get Durant. Can't get him. Let's go see if we can get Zion. Couldn't get him. Let's go see if we can get LeBron. Couldn't get him. Let us see if we can get Kyrie. Somebody come here. Nobody wanted to go to the Knicks for a while. I think all those years of disappointment and agony and all that stuff, and they realized Dolan does not know what the hell he's doing, moved his ass like, yo, stay your ass upstairs. We'll figure out this basketball shit. And Jalen Brunson is he's that guy. And right now, A-Rod looked like he's about to cry because the Knicks are gonna win the series.
7 points. Everything I preach is coming to fruition, bro.
Listen. I told and fans. My mom is a diehard Knicks fan. When I was growing up, and ever since they got rid of like Latrell Sprewell and Patrick Ewing on them, they started sucking. They went with Eddie Curry and Isaiah Thomas at coach and all that shit. They went through some tough times. And even when they had Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo and all that, it just didn't feel right. This to me is the most it feels right Knicks team. Like the people on that team fit what I perceive the New York Knicks to be like. Tough-minded, head on their shoulders, focused, dogs. Jalen Brunson is a dog. Julius Randle's a dog. RJ Barrett, it's kind of soft to me, but every now and then he has his games.
He's balling out. He's stepped it up.
So out of all right now in the first round of the playoffs in the East, to me, this Knicks series, it might not have been the most exciting as far as like, it's going 7 games.
It was a test.
It made me really fall in love with what the Knicks have done. Obviously, I know you probably feel the same there. So, we're just going to go off the assumption that you guys have won this series because I think there's no chance at Cleveland. So, in your head, right, what is it what change have you seen from your team for them to be playing like this right now?
It's to not giving up on players. It's to not giving up of Emmanuel quickly and we can go get a superstar.
Yeah.
It's not packaging of the deal of quickly and Obi Toppin to go get homeboy, what's his face? Donovan Mitchell. It's believing in what you have as a whole. Like you poo-pooed on Mitchell Robinson, but Mitchell Robinson does this.
He does his job. And he does it really well.
I don't need him to be Hakeem. Yeah. I don't need him to be Shaq. I need you to get boards and set screens and that's what, and stay out of foul trouble.
Real
And he's
quickly,
done that.
real quick, and I don't want to like get too off topic, but I feel like that's what's happening with DeAndre Ayton. He's a number one overall pick, and in his mind, he needs to be like the featured offensive player. I think if DeAndre Ayton accepted a Mitchell Robinson role, he would thrive. But I don't think he's willing to accept that. But the reason why I'm happy with what you're saying with Mitchell Robinson, I'm like, he accepted his role, and at the end of the day, like the whole
he got
thing,
paid.
like, if you play your role, you play your role well, you're gonna win. Michael Jordan had all these role players on Chicago, and they played it well. Scotty's gonna get the best defender. Dennis Rodman gonna get you 18 rebounds. You know, this, that, and the third. Mitchell Robinson, your job is to block shots, get rebounds, stay out of foul trouble, and the occasional alley-oop and sit back. It's simple. So you're definitely right on that. I do like that Mitchell Robinson. I won't poo-poo him in no more.
I think it's one, not giving up on players. Two, keeping this nucleus intact. Three, getting the right players to put and pair with it. Like we went and got Fournier, we went and got Rose, we went and got all these guys, and they're not even in the offense anymore.
Yeah.
And Fournier is a scorer. Fournier's a scorer. Like, I like the guy, but as a Knick, he's expendable. He's expendable.
I mean, for Orlando, he was a superstar.
but even he's still a good player. Don't get me wrong.
And shout out to Paulo Banchero winning Rookie of the Year. You were on top of that last year. You were absolutely right. I didn't trust that Duke ass player, but congrats to him.
But, dude, they're gonna fucking do it. Oh my god.
Yo, you did it. Hey, you don't be scared. It happened. Y'all won the series.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Oh my god, they're gonna do it,
bro.
I'm so happy to see. But
don't cry. It's okay.
It's that, and it's just trusting the process, like you did. It's trusting the process that this is going to work.
Yeah,
and getting those pieces like a Hartenstein, who I was like, who is this guy? And then I watched the tape on him, and I'm like, oh my god, he's good at what? Offensive rebounding.
Real quick, I'm so sorry. My cousin Ray, he just texted me. He's long life Knick fan. He just texted me, I'm on my obnoxious shit. He's like, I'm on my obnoxious shit.
I'm wearing Knicks.
Hey, I'm not mad at y'all. I ain't mad at y'all.
I'm going to Meat Market tomorrow, maybe in a Julius Randle jersey.
And just walk around just because. Like, what's up? What's up?
Oh my god. I can't believe these
guys. And listen, if y'all get Miami, obviously it's a lot easier than Milwaukee. It's not going to be easy, but it's a lot easier than Giannis. So that's going to be a very good series if that happens.
But the other, yeah, I don't care. Bring whoever on. We're getting there. It's also Jalen Brunson is God sent. Like, we didn't know he was going to be this good. We thought he was going to be a number 3, and RJ Barrett has finally figured out his role, and I'm loving it. He's figured it out late, but he's figuring out. He knew it all along.
Yeah,
he's figuring it out now.
But what's his secret? When in doubt, we'll get you a Villanova guy. They went and got Josh Hart.
And Hart.
Went and got Jalen Brunson, and everything has changed for them.
People don't give Josh Hart credit for this. They look at his defense, and they look that he can score a little bit. He had, I think, only had 4 points tonight. You know how many rebounds the motherfucker have? 12 rebounds. Okay, Josh Hart
6'2", 6'3". Josh Hart is like 6'4", 6'5", playing power forward.
Exactly.
That's Hart, bro. That's Hart.
Exactly. And they put together the perfect team. And you could replace Hart with Quickly or McBride or Grimes, whoever you want to put out there as shooting guard. But our second unit, I told you from the get-go, was deeper than Cleveland. Cleveland's bench had 19 points. Our bench, one player had 19 points.
And I bet you the Cleveland player that had 19 was probably just Karis LeVert, because ain't nobody else coming off that bench for them.
No, Karis LeVert started the whole time.
Oh, he started? Okay.
Yeah, Cleveland's bench had a total of 19 points.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And our one player on the bench was Emmanuel Quickly, had 19. So
look at y'all. Look at y'all. Look at y'all in the second round. Oh, by the way, the Sixers, we was there last week. We was waiting for y'all. So
we
was there last week waiting for y'all, just so y'all know, by the way.
You have the
While listen, I'm gonna take the floor, but you can talk. The Knicks, yeah, fantastic, right? Let me talk my shit about the Sixers real quick. All right, I am very, very proud of how we played that series because it is very easy to lose a game to a team like Brooklyn because that would be the game that you fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like the Lakers are getting their ass blown out right now by Memphis. It's because they know they can probably go back home and win it, right? And Memphis just wanted it more. The Sixers, we could have very easily lost in game 3 or game 4 to Brooklyn. We were down in both of those games. One game we had Tyrese Maxey take off. The next game we had Paul Reed and DeAnthony Melton, who I told y'all in the offseason was my favorite signing. We had them two go off. Like the balance that we have right now, I am so proud of this freaking team right now. But what's the issue? Joel Embiid cannot get through a playoff series, a playoffs ever, without being out for some games. And now we have a knee issue. And shout out to Trae Young for hitting that shot last night to keep this series a little bit longer with Boston. I'm going to need Ice Trae to go off again and take that shit back to Boston for a game 7, please, because we need all the rest that we can get. But I am very proud of the Sixers team. I feel like this is probably like our best chance that we're going to have ever winning a championship because I told you all season, Milwaukee is the favorite, right? Giannis missed a couple games. They're about to be out the playoffs in the first round. If Milwaukee's out of the playoffs, this is going to be the most wide open playoff. Like the Knicks can actually make it to the freaking finals. Like think about it. Y'all can actually, because if we lose to Boston, y'all y'all not scared of Boston. You know what I mean? Y'all not gonna be scared. Y'all not gonna be scared of us either. Like we play our games are tight. So and in Miami though, kind of shifting gears. Playoff Hemi Butler, bro. Play it like I gotta give a shout out to Fred because Fred is like a month ago when I went to the Orlando Magic game versus the Heat, right? And I could see it first. I was able to for the first time see it firsthand how good Hemi Butler is in like clutch situations. Jimmy Butler is literally the son of Michael Jordan. Like I'm convinced. At first, I thought it was all conspiracy shit, whatever. No, Jimmy Butler is definitely Michael Jordan's son. I'm convinced because the dude went the fuck off. 56 points in a playoff game against the Milwaukee Bucks defense. Listen, man, and they were down 10 points in the fourth quarter. Didn't matter. So I would be scared to play Jimmy Butler if I was the Knicks. But definitely shout out to the Knicks for getting here because
I want to run down the street right now, bro.
Hey, listen, bro. Y'all haven't won a championship yet, bro. Y'all was in the second round when y'all had Carmelo.
But I told you it's the small things, and they look good.
Y'all was in the second round when y'all had Carmelo too. I need y'all to like get to the NBA Finals because this is New York. This is New York we're talking about, Stephen A.
I don't think we got out of the second round with Carmelo.
No,
I think
y'all got to the second round with Carmelo.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, y'all beat, I think, Indiana or something like that.
Paul George. And then, no, we didn't beat Indiana, beat us because I remember watching
in the second round. Yeah, Indiana beat y'all in the second round. Yeah, so.
And then Paul George pulled the biggest. Now you see me, now you don't on all of us.
Check me out. I tweeted. Playoff. Paul George thinks playoff P is what Jimmy Butler is like. Playoff Jimmy Butler. Yeah, exactly. That's who Paul George thought he was in the playoffs. He ain't like that. And I always compare those two for like the last few years. Like, who would you rather have, Paul George, Jimmy Butler? And time again, Jimmy Butler has been proving time and time again he's the guy because once again, Paul George not in the playoffs and the Clippers are already out 5 games. So yeah, it's
So what I can take away from basketball, I've been watching nonstop basketball now. I've put baseball on the back burner a little bit, catch the late games, watch the games in the daytime. But Trae Young, you fuck with Trae Young.
You've seen it and I've seen it firsthand.
We've
both seen it firsthand.
I told Sammy and Vic, I was like, KK and I experienced this.
We know,
okay? And I kind of don't want to see him next round if he were to make it. I absolutely hate him. The city hates him. Nobody likes Trae Young.
Yeah,
like they literally chant "fuck Trae Young."
Because,
They
bro,
chant
he
Mitchell.
he went full heel villain on y'all.
He did. He's doing it in Boston now too. You saw him the other
The
night.
little shiver, I was like, I like this dude. And then DeJounte Murray, he got suspended. He coming back with that vengeance in Game 6. Oh, I hope this shit goes 7 games. Oh, I hope it does.
DeJounte Murray was such a nice guy, and then he got to Atlanta and
he went from San Antonio to Alamo to Magic City. What the hell do you think is going to happen, dog? He hanging out with Gucci and them and YSL.
But you saw it in preseason. You saw it in preseason with Banchero and all that.
He did. Yo. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, he did.
Trae Young is that dude, man. Now. We didn't give him enough credit in the regular season. Like you said, he had a good under the radar season.
Yeah.
And kid's a baller, man. Like, you can make fun of him for his hair, you can make fun of him for, his height, you can talk all the shit you want him, but the kid is a killer. He's got that killer mentality.
I mean,
and it shows.
It's not I who makes fun of his hair. It's always been A-Rod. A-Rod makes fun of everything about Trae Young.
I hate him. He
does not like him. Trust me, guys.
I'm talking about in general too. Like Dylan Brooks too. Like, he's having a good game. I mean, these guys, they're
fuck Dylan Brooks.
They're
he
ain't
like players, that, bro. He's not like that. Listen, we're gonna get to the West in a little bit. He ain't like that.
Yeah. But the Boston series is entertaining to see because they just collapsed in the second half. They had that in the bag, and then they just totally collapsed.
You know who I blame for that?
Oh yeah, Missoula for sure.
Missoula, he's not. He don't know what he's doing, bro. I'm sorry. He just has a lot of talent.
Sammy and Vic said it best. Don't be afraid to take Marcus Smart out for Brogdon. Like, don't be afraid to do that. Like that could be
absolutely. Yeah.
So that's an interesting series, y'all. I knew you were gonna sweep them. Like, I think Brooklyn is just too fresh.
I thought Doc Rivers' dumbass was gonna do something stupid. That's just how I felt.
No, like, that team was just put together overnight, literally, and we're like, "Hey, take us to the promised land because we have a winning record now." Like, it was too fresh.
But what did we establish from that series, though? Mikal Bridges, I know that's your boy. I know the Villanova product.
He's the next James Harden. I'm saying it right now.
He got away from Devin Booker and them. Now he can has his own team. He's gonna get him as an MVP like James Harden because now he can just blossom. And I already respected him a lot with Phoenix, but seeing it a lot more close hand because I'm paying attention more to it. Oh, the dude is nice, bro. Like, the dude is nice. He has that how Kawhi became a really good two-way player for a few years, and they're best two-way player in the game. Kawhi, LeBron, Paul George. That's how I see Mikal Bridges. The length defensively, he's still a fantastic defensive player.
And he plays.
He doesn't miss games. He has not. I don't think he's missed a game in his career yet, right?
Nope.
He has not missed a game in his NBA career yet. The dude is there every night. He loves basketball. But the difference between him and Kevin Durant is that he can stay healthy and he's not that annoying in the media like Spencer Dinwiddie was trying to be. I really love Mikal Bridges, whom the 76ers drafted and just said, let's get rid of him for
he was our draft that we gave
Zaire Smith, guys. Zaire Smith.
And then as far as the Heat and the Bucks go, Jimmy Butler, he's
Timothy.
He's a good basketball player, and it's
good is an understatement. I'm telling you, Michael Jordan is his father.
But the problem with Jimmy Butler is just he's just like this during the whole season. He might do one of these.
He does load management the right way.
He does.
He actually plays, but he don't give a shit because he knows 8 seed, 1 seed don't matter.
And then he'll fight with the coach. He'll fight with Udonis Haslem.
Don't matter.
He'll leave the game. But he's taken down a number 1 seed. He's on the verge of doing it. They pulled what's funny is the media, they go and find shit. They pulled the receipts on Jimmy Butler. He said it in high school. They found in his yearbook. He said, the one thing I'll never do is put on a Miami Heat jersey.
I guess, you know what? And that's what leads to this whole cancel culture shit. I need to stop digging for people's shit from 16 years ago. Like, come on, bro. That's if they found out the shit I was saying when I was 15, 16, oh my God. Oh my God. It won't be pretty. Okay. So leave that shit alone. He's doing well for Wayne County.
Jimmy Butler is good. And it's unfortunate because with a healthy Giannis, this is a different game. This would be a different game. I think it'd be
I wanted this series to be a lot more exciting.
Yeah, me too. But you got to be happy for it. Like I feel like as annoying as Heat fans are, like I don't care. Like I just love seeing Jimmy Butler do good.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy seeing Jimmy Butler do good because in my opinion of Jimmy Butler, he's like the quarterback that you want in the NFL that makes everybody good around him. He's making Strus good, okay? Yeah, Duncan Robinson. We have a Duncan
He
Robinson.
empowers his teammates. Like he really does empower his teammates. Like he'll comment on their page, he'll shout them out on his page. Whatever he can do. He hyped up Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. Now he got Strus looking good. Like he will be in your corner. If you like doxing him, he'll be in your corner.
If you like
Karl-Anthony Towns,
not Minnesota, just not Minnesota.
If you like Karl-Anthony Towns, I don't know. I don't know.
Minnesota ain't it. Play with the third string and whoop his ass, man. But yeah,
that's Jimmy how you know Butler, that's Michael Jordan's son. He played with the third string and whooped his ass.
Jimmy Butler is that dude, man.
Yeah, and I love Jimmy. I love Jimmy.
When Jimmy's doing, it's like when they say when the Knicks are doing good, you know, the NBA is doing good. When Jimmy Butler is doing good, if we didn't get Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, I would have been really pissed.
Remember, we kept even Tobias Harris played well this first round. I'm going to give him his credit. This is the best consistency I've seen for him playing well. But we kept Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. And I would never forgive the Sixers for that because, damn, what are we doing?
I know.
What are we doing?
I know. All right, out west. Let's go out west.
Out west, LeBron James. Tonight, we can't speak on LeBron. I wish we recorded this the night of LeBron James and the Lakers doing what they did in Game 3. Tonight, they get the doors blown off of them by a hungry Memphis team with young legs and all that shit.
There's time.
But shout out to LeBron James. That's all I got to say, man. Like LeBron, man.
Oh, yeah. Did you witness greatness the other night? Because I did.
How old is he? 38? The dude is in year 20.
He'll still put something out there.
He's year 20. He was like, screw it. What do y'all need me for to do? Y'all need me to play power forward? Cool, I'm going to get you 20 rebounds. 20 rebounds in year 20. All right, you know how I was talking about last week? Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do like a wacky, funny statistic this week. Today I played basketball again, right? Remember last week I told you I went like 3 for like 50 or whatever. Today I was feeling it. I was feeling it today. I couldn't finish at the rim good, but my jump shot's starting to come back a little bit. So, and I'm not 38 and my knees hurt. I'm tired. I was out of breath. Getting a rebound took so much energy. And LeBron's been doing this shit for 20 years. Still give you 20 rebounds, 20 plus points, 7 assists, clutch shots at the end of the game, both in regulation to send it to overtime and in regulation and in overtime to put it away. Damn, LeBron James. But on the same token, I have a lot of respect for Ja Morant, bro. Like the polar opposite of how I feel about Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, what do you say? Play stupid games. Yeah, Dylan Brooks been trying to play stupid games for too long now.
Oh yeah, I have no
starting to catch up with him. Like he's not he's the one that calls himself a villain and now he won't do press conferences because he said the media made me like this.
Yeah, exactly. You did it to yourself, bro. You saw what Woj said about him on the podcast?
No.
He said Memphis was wanting to move on for him for a long time.
Oh, I heard. So yeah. He not even going. He's doing all this bullshit talking. And if
they called Toronto, and Toronto said absolutely not.
He's Canadian though. Like they should be like, yeah, come on, eh?
Canadians are nice people. First off, so
he's the anti-Canadian. He must be from like Saskatchewan. I heard, shit ain't cool in Saskatchewan. So I was just playing. I don't know anything about Saskatchewan, y'all. I'm sorry. Now. being that this Lakers series is going to go to Game 6, I have a lot of not faith in the Lakers when it comes to closing out things that they need to close out, because Anthony Davis will give you 51 game and then 6 points the next game. Like, he's the most hot and cold player I've seen for his kind of talent. Top 75, they say he is. He's way too hot and cold for me. He's not, like, I look at power forwards and centers of his kind of, build. Kevin Garnett would not have those type of games. Tim Duncan would not have those type of games. You go down the line. There's no way that any of those guys are going to have, what was it, 4 points going to the fourth quarter, or 6 points going to the fourth quarter. Like, defensively, yeah, he was fine, but LeBron James is too old to have to do all this shit. But what I appreciate about this Lakers team is how much you can tell that team ride or die for LeBron. Austin Reeves will ride or die for him. Rui Hachimura's gonna ride or die for him. They got Tristan Thompson in there, who Tristan Thompson made hella money because of LeBron James. He's gonna ride or die for him, just from like a player coach kind of standpoint. Darvin Ham, not really good with the X's and O's, but he's there. He's there on the sideline while LeBron helps the coaching. But the series is great. We'll see what they do in Los Angeles. I hope they put him away as a LeBron fan. But Dylan Brooks, you're an idiot. And then John Morant is fantastic. And yesterday, Desmond Bain was fantastic. And game 1, Jaren Jackson was fantastic. Game 2, big man. They haven't had a night where all of them, maybe I'm not paying attention to the game right now, but where all of them are clicking on all cylinders. They've all had like individual nights. So if they put it all together, it wouldn't shock me if Memphis came back and won this series, because the Lakers be doing some dumb shit, and it's hard to like really trust them. But we'll see.
It is, and we won't stick on this series too long. But like, the only thing I take away from it is like, LeBron is great. Like, he's gonna find ways to win games, and just when you media reporters want to call him old, call him this and that, like, he turns back the hands of time and makes pivotal scores the game winning or the game tying bucket, and then makes a defining block on the other end and scores or puts the dagger in their hearts. So LeBron is just
Bron,
like
GOAT status.
The test of time. Father Time, we say Father Time has caught up to him. It hasn't. It has not.
Well, I think that foot's really bothering him. I think his jump shot is nowhere near what it was during the season. I think he's really like favoring it, and because they say even after this, playoff run or whatever they do, he's still gonna have to get surgery on that foot. So I think Father Time is screwing up with his foot. So he needs Anthony Davis more than ever to be like, let me freaking grow up. Like 2020 bubble. Anthony Davis was on his game that whole bubble experience. Now I'm like, it's like hard for me to like see it with him. So we'll see what happens with that.
And the Grizzlies, like, I just don't like them. Like, I think I've fallen out of love with John Morant. I think I
still love John. Watching him play again, I remembered why I love John so much. He's fearless, and that's how I felt about Allen Iverson. He was like, "I don't give a shit. I'm going and saying I'm about to go bust my ass."
But
John Morant is modern day Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson didn't have social media back then. If Allen Iverson had social media, we'd be talking about Allen Iverson very differently, very differently.
They bashed Allen Iverson.
They bashed him without social media. Can you imagine with social media?
Oh, I know. But exactly. Still, like, he was a villain the whole time. And
that's my dog, though.
John's just reckless. John's just reckless to me, man. Like, I don't know. I'm not.
But we're basing him off of a couple of weird instances, right? His whole life, we haven't heard anything about him like this ever up until the last year. So maybe something actually mentally he is dealing with.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm not one to say, but like, dude, when he was running down the court and he tried to like jump on LeBron or jump over LeBron, like,
he's reckless though. He's reckless.
That's the only thing. And all
we put in our poll today: who would you rather build your team around, Anthony Edwards or John Morant? And a lot of you guys picked Anthony Edwards. I was one of the people who picked Anthony Edwards as well, because John Morant is going to continue to get hurt his whole career, because the way he plays, He's too explosive where he thinks he can jump over LeBron James in the fourth quarter. He thinks he can do this and contort his body forever. Derrick Rose found out quick and early. You can't play like that for a long time. It's impossible.
Yeah, this is a good series though. Like, you know, the Lakers are clawing their way back, but they're definitely not going to win this. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis came back and won it. But I got my money on LeBron in what is it now, Crypto Arena, whatever it is,
aka Staples.
Yeah.
But real quick, let's keep it in crypto. What's next for the Clippers? Like to me, every year for the last 4 years, they've been the favorite in the West, and they end every year exactly the same way.
Stephen A said it the best. Kawhi Leonard is probably the worst superstar of all time.
I don't want to put that title on him. I don't want to put that.
I know.
Stephen A. be saying stupid shit to me. I don't.
But he made a good point. No. He made a good point on how he said it though. Like the talent is there. We know he's like really good. Okay. But it's availability. It's his availability to you is what makes him bad. Like taking time off and we don't know what the reason is for. Like not being there. We groomed this team to be really like we know Paul George is fucked up. We know he's fucked up. But Kawhi, we just found out now that he's got like a foot issue now. We didn't know that all year.
It's a torn meniscus.
Yeah, or meniscus. That's what it is.
But listen,
we just find that.
But listen. We talk about superstars, right? And that's why I don't want to put this on him because to me it's kind of screwed up. Like force him to retire. Grant Hill, if anybody remembers, Grant Hill out of Duke University was the guy. When I lived in Detroit, the guys were Barry Sanders and Grant Hill. Like I met Grant Hill at a basketball camp, and I was in awe. And if you remember, in the 90s, Grant Hill was modern day LeBron James. He could do everything on the court. So when he got traded to Orlando, it was going to be him and Tracy McGrady. They were supposed to take it to the next level, right? And Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. It's the same exact situation. Paul George can only do so much, just like Tracy McGrady can only do so much. Because remember, Tracy McGrady, as great as he was offensively, the back started going out. He started missing games too. The same thing to me. The same exact thing is happening right now. Kawhi Leonard is like the Grant Hill of this time because when Kawhi Leonard is on his game, Kawhi is one of the more talented people in the league. His handle is good. Defensively, he's good. His mid-range is great. 3-point is great. Free throw, like he has no flaws. His only flaw is his bionicle knees. That's literally it. So
I think that's the biggest problem. Go ahead.
So to me, I wouldn't want to put that on him because he could very well just beat Grant Hill. Grant Hill was able to go to Phoenix and have another career and had a pretty successful career playing the role that he played. If Kawhi Leonard can't be the primary option anymore because if you ask him to do so much, he will do it. He'll do it well, and then out of nowhere you'll see his knees don't work no more. So they need him to play that Grant Hill role. Like, let me go play for like a team that needs me to be their number 3 best player because he can at any given night he can be your best player, of course, but I don't want him to be overworked because he could very well be Grant Hill at this point.
I don't think Kawhi would ever take that role, though.
I think he never think about it. When he was in San Antonio, he was the 4th or 5th man. Like, and he won Finals MVP being that. Like Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and he won Finals MVP by being that guy. Toronto, he doesn't. What ego do you have? Like, he doesn't have an ego like that. He don't give a shit. He's not like Kevin Durant, LeBron James.
Let me talk, bro. Let me talk, dude.
I'm sorry. I just like his personality. I just don't see it with him.
I see it though. Like you built this super team. If anybody I blame more is the Clippers organization.
Ballmer.
The Clippers organization has the most.
Ballmer. I love Ballmer. His dumb ass. His loud ass.
I love him.
I love him, but he overhyped this team for too many years.
Just like that Microsoft release when him and what's his face, Bill Gates went out there and started doing all that goofy ass dancing and shit. Like they gave this team too much power. They gave the players too much power to do what they want. And I'm not saying that they didn't do what they wanted with it or abuse that power, but like the load management of these guys is very
and
questionable.
it
It
don't
is
work.
very questionable,
Don't
and
work.
it don't work. And it don't work. And we poo poo on like the
You know
Paul
what's
George
funny?
or the
I think every week, I would say if we go back through 97 episodes that were, is this episode 97 or 98?
98.
98. I would say through all 98 episodes, you've said poo poo on something.
Yeah.
I guarantee you
said a
say
lot.
we poo poo, I poo poo, somebody poo poo on something. And I'm 100% sure every episode you say that. Just a funny observation, but continue.
Find the clips and mash them
I
together,
will
man.
find them. I'll make a mash. You know how I am. But my
And
bad. Go
he's
ahead.
this is the guy saying don't go back and find Jimmy Butler's yearbook page over here, by the way. So
Jimmy Butler, Michael Jordan. So anyway, continue.
I smelt this in San Antonio. That's why he wanted out of San Antonio, because they wanted to force him onto the court, and he knew he wasn't ready to go out onto the court. So he
You think the
forced his
Clippers
way
are
out of
forcing him up to be on the court?
No, because they gave him the power, they gave him the keys and the power and everything. He can do what he wants.
So that's why he's doing what he wants.
Exactly. That's why I put more blame on the Clippers than I do Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's just like, oh, I can do this because this is what they told me.
But if he has a torn meniscus, like he literally, like we make fun of Anthony Davis a lot, right? Anthony Davis, the reason why we make fun of Anthony Davis is every single time something touches him, he's grasping like he's about to die, right? Like he literally looks like he's going to die every time he hits the floor, right? Kawhi, on the other hand, you never see him favoring any injury. It just happens. All right, the next day, yeah, he's out for the rest of the series. Like that's literally his been his MO.
But this is I don't want to say there's a script. I don't want to say there's a script. I don't believe there is a script. Okay. All I'm saying is like this is my only like call it off the wagon, whatever you want to call it. Okay. But like I feel like there's just Kawhi has that will to win. But I feel like there's just some instances where he's just like, even in NBA games, just like, oh, we're not going to win this series. I'm done. Make up an injury. I'll get some kind of surgery. I don't know. I just feel like that.
I feel like they invested way too much money into him for them to even think that he can't go in Game 5 if he couldn't go.
But they gave them so much power. They gave them so much power to do what they want.
It's the NBA. The players get all the power.
I blame the Clippers, but we're way off topic. We're just diving into.
That's why I said, what's next for the Clippers? We're not off topic. I'm like, what's next for the Clippers?
I really don't know. You pray for a healthy Kawhi. You pray for a healthy Paul George.
You keep it Russ?
I would, because Russ really showed out, and here's your.
Can I just say something about Russ? Y'all, I don't. So everyone was giving Russ a hard time with the Lakers, right? And sometimes I'll feed into that, but for the most part, I always be like, "Yo, leave Russ alone, man. Leave him alone." Because I actually like Russell Westbrook, right? The problem is, and if you understand the game of basketball, Russell Westbrook bring the third option on any basketball team will never work, especially the third option playing off the ball, because he's not an off the ball player. He's a ball dominant type of player, and when he's at his best, aka winning MVPs and averaging triple doubles, he ain't got that much shit around. He got a bunch of shooters on the outside and a big man down low that can make easy dunks. That's it. So without and even when Kawhi and Paul George were in the lineup, Kawhi and Paul George don't need the ball to be successful. They can play off the ball as well. So he fits into that offense so much better than he fit with the Lakers, because it's either AD, LeBron James, and then Austin Reeves got some run. Like all these different people getting like ball handling duty, where the only way Russell Westbrook is going to be successful is if the ball's in his hand for like 35-40% of the game. So I'm not surprised by anything he's doing with his team. If any team that he's going to fit is going to be this team, because Kawhi Leonard, if he's healthy, doesn't need to be on the ball all day. Paul George, if he's healthy, doesn't need to be on the ball all day. And then you got Norman Powell, Marcus Morris. Like they got all these Bones Highland. They got all this talent, bro. All this talent. but your superstars need to make it to the finish line. And the one time they made it to the finish line, playoff P was hitting off the backboard and shit, and Denver hawked them down from 3-1. So they had their window. I don't know what's next. I don't know if they can. I mean, they're gonna have to run it back. I mean, what more can they do? But to me, it's gonna be same story every year because I think his knees are officially like Brandon Roy. Lonzo Ball's going through it right now. Like once the knees go out, they go out. Like the amount of basketball you play, there's no way to rest them enough. Like you have to do long-term load management, keep them like that.
I don't believe Kawhi Leonard is a human being. So get those bionicle knees fixed. Like I don't believe he's a
he
human.
needs to go to Germany and get that knee surgery. Because Germany, they got the secret stuff like Space Jam to fix his knee. Trust me. Listen, Kobe did it. A lot of people have done it. Amari Stoudemire did it. Go to Germany, go get that surgery, my boy.
It's a Wiener Schnitzel. Get it done, buddy. Yeah, but the Suns are just dominant. Book
had himself a freaking series, bro.
Yeah, Book did have himself a series. KD is just in the right spot. Like you leave him open for the smallest second, he's gonna nail those shots. And one thing I learned about DeAndre, I literally saw him hit like top of the key shots like nobody's business. Like that's his bread and butter. Like if they don't guard you, take that shot. His role
has changed and he feels left out of the offensive game plan. So if he doesn't accept the role as a Mitchell Robinson, let me block shots, get rebounds, and get putbacks, he would not be happy in this offense because he's the number 1 overall pick in the same draft that Luka Doncic and Trae Young was in. He wants to be treated and feel like a number 1 pick. He's not going to get that if KD and Devin Booker are on the team and Chris Paul. Like you're literally the 4th option. And when Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson was there, or Cam Johnson, you're literally still the 4th option. Like, don't think that you are that guy. As on this type of team, I just want to shoot mid-range jumpers and threes. Like it's simple with them. Like they get they draw the least fouls in the NBA. Why? Because they just take jumpers, bro. Like they're a clinic. Chris Paul, mid-range. Devin Booker, mid-range. Kevin Durant, greatest mid-range scorer of all time, in my opinion. Like you got to put in or shut up, bro. Like for real. I don't know, but I think Phoenix. I mean, looking at Phoenix versus the Nuggets, right? And shout out to Anthony Edwards. Like the T-Wolves tried again. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is just not the answer. Rudy, I mean, he's a good player, but Rudy Gobert, we've proven time and time again on the show, most overhyped, overrated, overpaid, whatever player we've ever seen. But Anthony Edwards has a very bright future. I just need him. Minnesota will never figure it out. Like they don't know how to play. They don't know how to run a team. So there's no surprise that they lost 4-1. But looking at Phoenix and Denver, I mean, kind of just looking at both of their lineups. I mean, who do you think has like the edge more so? Just take away home court advantage, all that stuff. Just looking at their lineups. Denver got some depth. And I don't think Phoenix got a deep team like that. They got 2 amazing players.
Well, the don't worry about the bench in Phoenix. Kevin Durant got the bench, okay? Don't even sweat the no bench thing in Phoenix. Just look at the starting lineup. Yeah, of course Denver has the better thing, but this isn't like the Knicks versus Cleveland, okay?
Yeah.
We have a good bench and it's really good compared to that. And we're not playing Kevin Durant. We're playing
Spider They have Mitchell a generational talent that is like literally generational talent.
We're playing legit Spider Mitchell, who goes out first round all the time, and we're like, damn, we can't wait to see him go far. We can't wait to see it.
That's real sad with him, though. When you think about it, it's like his career is going to end up like Damian Lillard, but he bounces around and still doesn't get deep enough. Like to me, that's what we're going to see.
Lillard deep. Dame Lillard went to the Western Conference Finals.
I know what I'm saying. He that was the only time. That's the only time we've ever seen him go deep. That's what I'm saying. He's not Donovan Mitchell's not going to get deep enough. He's going to get there and then lose to Steph Curry or lose to Anthony Edwards in the future. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I see his career going. I hope I'm wrong because I like the kid, but
should have came to New York, fucker. Anyways,
That was supposed to be a trade, by the way. There was no way he could have made it to New York as a free agent. That was a trade.
Well,
God,
should have
leave
came
him
to New York
alone,
still.
bro.
Nah, I'm on my talk shit. Me and Messiah right now, we texting
Oh,
each other. We're on our
Messiah. I
talk.
forgot he's a Knicks fan too. Gotta,
Catch us outside. Catch us
yeah.
outside.
No. I'm proud. I'm proud. My cousin blowing up my phone as we speak.
Um, I think it's going to be a really really good matchup because this will, if the Nuggets can pull it out, then they're for real. Then they're for real to me because Kevin Durant, that's the guy you got to worry about. D Book, I'm not worried about. I know D
What do
Book's
you
gonna
mean
have his
not worried
game.
about, bro? He almost scored 50 last night. Yo, with him
He
getting
did, but
one-on-one coverage, remember he was crying during the practice game. Why you guys doubling me? Ugh. Now he doesn't get doubled in an NBA game anymore.
Devin Booker does not scare me. Devin Booker can you
What?
can turn Devin Booker can be turned off. Okay, Devin Booker can be turned off. So
The only
Kevin
way
Durant.
he gets turned off is like if his hip is starting to hurt again. That to me is the only chance.
I saw Devin Booker pout in a finals against Milwaukee. I saw Devin
His
Booker
hamstring was bad.
disappear.
It
Devin
was.
Booker
Go
doesn't
back and
scare
look
me.
at the tape.
The
His
only
hamstring
player,
was bad.
the only player who scares me is Kevin Durant. Like I respect Devin Booker's
Well,
game. I
there's
do.
tiers. There's tiers to being scared. Kevin Durant is at the top tier of that.
He is.
At the
Kevin
very top of
Durant,
that list.
when you are sleeping, Kevin Durant is draining threes on the
What's his
opposite
name? Slim
court.
Reaper. He's literally
Slim
there
Reaper.
to come like take your soul. Like, yes, absolutely.
The Durantula, bro.
He's a tarantula
He's
Slim
not
Reaper.
if he's not on his burner account, he's definitely shooting jumpers somewhere. Like Kevin Durant
Literally,
is that
it's
dude.
either he's smoking a joint on his burner account or shooting jump shots.
Yeah, I'm not, and he's definitely not brushing his hair. He's
Oh,
shooting
definitely
those
not.
into the trash.
Definitely not.
Shots.
He saw the brush, he threw it in the
Uh,
trash can. Like, what is this?
that's my own personal feeling about Book. Like I respect his game. I know he's good. I know they're going to draw a double team on Kevin Durant and leave him open, and he's going to make those shots. But I'm just saying, like if Kevin Durant is there, I'm shitting bricks. Okay, so the real game plan is how do we shut down both of these guys? Because Chris Paul, we know he age is getting up there with him.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Ayton, we know he feels some type of way. We know that he's not going to be featured as a one option when he should be, but he's not going to be that because Kevin Durant is there and Devin Booker is
even without Kevin Durant, he could never be a one option because Devin Booker is the guy.
they're going to have to find a way to do that. And I'm not comparing it to the Knicks series with the Cavs, but it's got to be like that. We shut down Donovan Mitchell, and we found ways. We lost game 2 because we learned we left Darius Garland open, and we can't do that. Mm-hmm. We have to learn to cover Mitchell, and then we had to learn to take Garland out the game too, and rely on the rest of the team. And it was beautiful. So that's what they're going to have to find a way to do. Joker's a 2-time MVP for a reason, and he better not be a 3-time.
He's
at
not.
least this year.
No, there's no way. You know who I'm a big fan of though with Denver? Aaron Gordon.
Michael Porter and Aaron Gordon.
Michael Porter too, because Michael Porter is not going to cancel out Durant by any means, but that's another guy that can get hot. Jamal Murray can get hot. But to me, Aaron Gordon is probably going to be the most important player in this series because he does so much on both ends of the floor, getting big rebounds, effort plays, randomly going for like 25 and 15 and whatnot. Like to me, if he outplays the output of DeAndre Ayton, to me, that's going to determine a lot because Jamal Murray is going to get his buckets. I don't care who's guarding him. Yeah. Jamal Murray is going to get off, right? Joker, he going to find a way to get you 25, 10, and 10. Just figure it out, right? KCP, if he's hot, he's hot. Michael Porter, if he's hot, he's hot. To me, Aaron Gordon, like he can really dictate a lot in this series. So that to me is who I'd be looking out for. Because you look at Phoenix, Durant, Booker, old Chris Paul, not happy DeAndre Ayton, and then a bunch of just guys. Like, I mean, Cam Payne might be back. I don't give two shits about Cameron Payne. I'm sorry. He annoys the hell out of me. Who else they got? Joshua Okogie. Eh,
We know that there's no bench there. We solidified. Like they both play deep, or they don't. The Phoenix doesn't play defense.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn West.
Yeah, exactly. Denver plays defense. They both shoot the three ball good. So it's going to be how they that's the key factor. I like your X factor for Denver is definitely that.
Yeah.
Because we know the other guys are going to score. You know, we know they're going to take care of that. But I think for Denver it's that, and they're going to have to find a way to lock down KD and Devin Booker. So
yeah,
it's going to be
that's a tall
it's
task.
going to be a good series. It's going to be. I think whoever wins that in that series, that's the team in the finals for the West.
And
is that team?
The one thing that Denver can be happy about, they got the best record in the West, so they're home court. And you know, maybe that elevation gets to Chris Paul because Chris Paul is old, and that elevation will affect him. Like he's going to be gassed. And Kevin Durant, listen, it feels like every year we're going to be a little concerned about some lower extremity injury with him. So if they don't overwork him, then he'll be fine. But like if they have to rely too heavily on him, I don't know how I feel about that for Kevin Durant because as great as he is, he tried that shit against Milwaukee and almost got it, but his foot was too big for the 3-point line, and that was that. And the way I look at this team, it's literally Brooklyn West, Kyrie and Kyrie and Devin Booker. What's the difference? Two amazingly gifted offensive players that don't play defense. Like Devin Booker plays a little bit more defense than Kyrie, but what's the difference? They're just bona fide scorers. So it's like Nick Claxton, DeAndre Ayton. What's the difference? To me, I don't see much of a difference. So it's like
first pick and a back end.
And a back end, but he played the same role. He played the same role that they're going to be asking when you play with Kevin Durant. So we'll see. Honestly, I don't know, but I don't want to pick. I'm not going to pick. I don't want to. I don't. Let's get through the rest of the West. Sacramento and Golden State, fun series. It's on now. Fun series, but I think Golden State. If Golden State went down 3-1, then they would be in trouble. As soon as they tied up at 2-2, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and that whole Jordan Poole, been there, done that. They're not letting Sacramento win that series. I'm sorry. And if they do, I'll be very shocked, but I can't see it.
I can't either. Yeah. I told you, like, they're scary. When they start clicking, they're scary.
Listen, I'm intimidated. Very intimidated. Because, like,
I'm proud of
my LeBron, LeBron's my guy. So I got to figure out who I'd rather LeBron play in the second round. I ain't trying to deal with Golden State. I'll deal with Sacramento. Yeah. I ain't trying to deal with no Golden State. Like, that's his kryptonite, literally.
Yeah, I'm proud of Sacramento, though. They're doing their thing. Same. And it's funny, like Draymond Green coming on the podcast saying, Harrison Barnes, we've seen that before. And, he invited these dudes to the wedding and he didn't invite me. So I don't know what his thing is against me. But also, have you heard of Harrison Barnes ever speak?
You know what? The fact that you just asked me that, I really have to think about it. I don't think I have.
I want you to YouTube it and
maybe
you may laugh.
Maybe I have.
He's very polished.
Because I was a fan of he is. Because I was a fan. I'm a North Carolina guy, right? I love North Carolina basketball. I was a fan of Harrison Barnes when he was in college. Like I was like, there we go. We got a little Michael Jordan here. He don't know how good he could be. I don't think Harrison Barnes has ever reached his full potential, but I think him at his potential at the level that he plays at now, I love Harrison Barnes. I think he's a fantastic basketball player and a very good fit for a team like Sacramento or like Golden State. Even with Dallas, he would have been a good fit with Luka right now. So, yeah, but no, I have to go back and hear him speak though because,
dude, I don't know. Have you ever seen like Sorry to Bother You?
Nah, I never heard of it.
It's a movie. Well,
those two, like they had that one scene, like, oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I never watched the actual movie, but I've seen scenes from the movie. Yeah.
So yeah, Harrison Barnes definitely has a white guy voice. It looks funny on him. It sounds weird. He has no depth in his voice. I'm just like, damn.
My
All right,
dog,
bro.
leave my dog alone, man. My dog,
I respect. No. I
he's
respect
the
this game.
truth.
I'm a big Harrison Barnes fan. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it didn't. It's weird to see that, but it's funny to hear Draymond's take on that, saying like he feels butthurt for Kevin Durant. He's like, it's Kevin Durant, bro. Like, we're gonna get Kevin Durant, of
Sometimes you have
course.
common sense. Kevin Durant is like that. So what are you gonna do? Cry about
Exactly,
it?
and I know, but you got your ring. I know it sucks that you couldn't get all those other ones with them, but hey, you got your ring. You got one ring. It was your
Plus, they
year
would have to
too.
pay him a lot of money, and they did not have the funds for that. They would if they're
Yeah,
gonna pay that kind of money, you gonna pay for Kevin Durant. He ain't gonna pay for no Harrison Barnes. Max, he got
yeah,
a max deal that year. So yeah,
yeah.
you go get you a Kevin Durant. Real
But
quick, is there any more in the West?
no, we did them all.
Okay. Who do you got winning that series? Golden State or Sacramento?
Golden State. I'm still sticking with
Hey,
it.
okay, we're on the same page. Lakers, Memphis. Who you got? Lakers still,
Lakers.
and then Denver
Mm-hmm.
and Phoenix already there. All right, cool. Real quick before we wrap before we get on to whatever we do next, Milwaukee, right? Uh, I'm not 100% sure they're going to win this game tonight. No, they just look flat, right? If they
Mm-hmm.
lose this series, do you fire Coach Bud?
No, absolutely not. It's not his fault that
I
Giannis.
I've never been a fan of him, and to
I know
me,
that.
the only reason why they won that NBA Finals had nothing to do with Coach Bud. Giannis literally put on a superhero cape and carried them to an NBA Finals. There's nothing that Coach Bud has done from an X's and O standpoint or a motivational standpoint for me to believe that he has anything like Frank Vogel. They got rid of him no matter what. They didn't care. He won a championship. They didn't care. Got rid of him. To me, I look at Coach Bud the same way. I think this would be like a very nice excuse to be like, all right, cool. Let's go get like Nick Nurse or something like that because Ime Udoka's taking a Houston role. And Nick Nurse is literally just out there. I'd much rather go get Nick Nurse than get the Coach Bud because I don't think Coach Bud is like that. So if Milwaukee loses the series, especially in 5, I'm firing. I don't give a damn. I'm firing him. Justin Timberlake got part ownership. We firing his ass. So we gonna get like Nick Nurse, and we'll be very happy with that. Or get Sam Cassell from the 76ers because my dog deserves a job, and I grew up with Sam Cassell, so for sure.
He was a buck too.
He was a buck.
He was
I could see that
a
too.
buck. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's his fault, to be honest. I think he's a boring coach too, and Giannis is just a freak athlete. You could draw the X's and O's that you want, but Giannis is just going to dominate and get his calls. He just had a hard fall, and that's what it is. But he got you a championship in a day as the head coach, so
got your championship, but playoff him, he ain't gonna get you no. He ain't let you get no more. So we gonna see. All right. Anything in baseball that you want to feel like you get off your chest real quick, or anything in hockey? I know the Lightning are trash.
no, this
Outside of that, there's some pretty good series in hockey, but the Lightning they disappointed me. But what you got?
yeah. I mean, they're still alive. They play tomorrow, so we'll see what happens
You
there.
lost both home games. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, no, that up by 4 goals was should have been done,
Just
but
embarrassing of all sorts of embarrassing.
3 goals, yeah, it makes no sense. But we'll see.
Wow, the
We'll see.
Florida Panthers beat the Bruins. Okay.
They have the the Maple Leafs number the last 3 years, so we can see what happens there.
Yeah.
But baseball still too young. There's not a lot really going on that's intriguing me. The Rays' little streak came to an end when the Astros beat them yesterday.
Whoop their
So
ass. 5-0.
yeah.
Shout out to Kyle Tucker, by the way. Fantasy team. But yo, how's your team doing? My team looking like hot garbage right now. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, my team's looking good, bro. We're picking up steam.
All
Ron
the talent
Angelo,
is on my team, and they're not performing how I want them to. And the
my
Pirates,
team's
by the way, the
still
Pirates look really good this year.
yeah. I mean, it's still fresh. It's still early, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And they don't have their star shortstop. He's out for like the entire season almost. So
With the broken
we'll
ankle.
Yeah. He's 7 foot tall, man. Like, what do you expect?
Oh shit, we came back on the Mariners. There we go. All right. So real quick, I know you talked about the Yankees earlier. With the Phillies, we're 12-13 now. It could be worse. It could be worse. We started off about the same last year, so I haven't hit panic mode yet. Brandon Marsh has been excellent. Alec Bone has been excellent. Bryson Stott has been excellent. Castellanos has been picking up steam a lot lately. So offensively, it's starting to feel good again. And then Bryce Harper is, he's swinging. He gonna be back sooner than later. Trey Turner has been a fantastic pickup. So offensively, it feels good. Nola got to pick it up. Nola is stressing me the hell out. Wheeler's got to pick it up too. Tijuan Walker, he had a couple few starts, but he's picking up a little bit, but I need him to pick it up. Ranger Suarez is on his way back too. So I just need the pitching as a whole. And shout out to what's his name? Alvarado. Boy, that man's nice. Throwing like 100-mile-per-hour sinkers and shit. Oof. God damn. But
when he's healthy.
Yeah, and Sir Anthony Dominguez can't stand him. But that's all I got. Craig Kimbrell, he got us a save / win today. So shout out to my dog Alvarado. Shout out to my dog Alvarado.
First off, don't say that about Sir Anthony. He's going through a funk. And Craig Kimbrell is literally the same pitcher. He'll go through a funk. He'll look good,
but
strike.
Sir Anthony always goes through a funk. I've seen it time and time again. Like for all the teams he's played for, it's the same thing with him. Like it'd be a stretch of games. I'm like, why is he pitching?
He's only been with your team though. That's the only team he's played for.
Nah, I thought he played for somebody. Who was it? It was well, I'll worry about that later. But go ahead, wrap us up, bro.
Hold on, I'm curious now. I'm looking it up. I'm pretty sure he's only played for you.
Where did he go to college? That's what you need. That's what you need to figure out.
He's only played for the Phillies. So yeah,
I swear he played for like the Rays for like a season or something.
No, he's homegrown and he's good.
You're right. My bad. That's my fault.
I'm sure it's the jitters because they wanted to make him the closer, and it's the jitters. So it's like, I've never done this before. I'm usually the setup guy, so it's a big role to fill for a young guy. So I feel that pain, but
Basura.
Phillies will be good. All right, you can find us on Twitter at @fair_weatherpod. And I'm starting to get active on there more, so you'll be able to see us, doing stuff on there. I've been trying to do my best to make the Twitter page come alive again.
But look at the IG. The IG is jumping though.
Yeah, we've been jumping.
Real IGs.
Hey, I want to give you credit real quick. You are the real king, and this is the man behind the reels, and he does a good job of them. I honestly get hyped for him when he does them, man. Like
I promise y'all, TikTok, I couldn't do it, but Reels is getting the same feeling for me, so I feel good with those.
He's doing a great job, and I'm his biggest cheerleader and also his co-host. So like I'm here supporting him 100%. Keep doing your thing, man.
The only part is that he's not gonna be with me in the foxhole during the draft tomorrow, which is breaking my heart because I needed some emotional support last year. And he was in the foxhole with me, but he ain't gonna be in the foxhole with me tomorrow.
I have a dinner date, so yeah.
The dog got a date though, so shout out.
So yeah, you can find us on Twitter at @fair_weatherpod. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. You can see our insights there, and then wherever you listen to podcasts or subscribe to, you can find us there as well. Words of wisdom.
Just good vibes only. Good vibes only. That's it, man. And enjoy the draft.
Go ahead. I got a story when you're going.
No, go ahead. Mine is simple. Good vibes and enjoy the NFL draft.
Definitely enjoy the NFL draft. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a big weekend for a lot of teams, so enjoy it.
I warned her. I was like, I'm gonna be looking at my phone around 15th pick. So about 9 o'clock, I might be looking at my stuff. So I stopped biting my nails. Big thing I've accomplished. I bit my nails for 30
days.
It's big. Got a manicure and pedicure today for the first time.
My dog, he grew up finally.
Treat yourself. It does wonders. It looks good. It feels good. So yeah.
Pedicure, one of the best feelings I ever had in my life. I was like, yo, I can get used to this. They put the hot coal on my legs. I was like, ooh, yeah, hot rock, whatever they did. massaging my leg a little bit. I was like, oh, I was ticklish. You know, I'm a little ticklish. I was like, oh, stop. So yeah, it felt good though. I'm gonna leave it there though, because now I'm starting to sound a little soft. So that's all we got. JETS, Jets as Jets. Go Knicks. Fly Eagles fly. Go Sixers. Fight. Let's go Fightins. I don't give a damn about the Yankees though. Shout out to Barry Sanders, greatest football player ever. All right.